Hello, hello. At least we can hear
Hello.
something.
Hey Ma, I can see you.
Yes, you can see me now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well. Oh my God, thank you for the follows. Thank you so much. Now we need to try to make this work. What I want is I want all of us to be available and seeable on Discord so I could just copy our Discords. Hey Jay, help, it's not working again. I don't understand why it's not working. Might it be because of Discord? Hey Sparry, I can't even hear you.
Oh, me? I just popped in and I was just listening. Are you also doing a stream together?
Well, we were
I got
trying, but it
an
didn't work.
invite and then it disappeared.
Oh, hot chocolate with whipped cream. Hi, Gecko. Thank you so much for coming. And I very much would like that hot chocolate. Thank you. I loved your coffee house. It looked mwah. Padarin and coffee house, that works. Sparry, we tried to
Okay.
stream, to co-stream,
hmm
but it didn't work. So I don't know what to do.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna try again, but let's like try to put everybody. That's why I actually wrote like setting up my stream, because this is madness.
I got it. I got it. Okay.
Did I stop broadcasting with OBS?
Yeah, although I don't know, there is a problem with the cams, it seems. AJ.
Hi. Don't stop streaming to
Okay.
anyone involved.
Okay.
Keep your OBSs up and keep your streams up. Ma, from your side, go to the collab thing and just make sure that you send off that invitation to each of them. And then from everyone else's side, make sure you're in your creator dashboard and you'll see that invite. And it's going to basically put you in a call. So it'll look like all four of you are sitting in a call inside the Twitch panel itself. You need to all be accessing it from the same browser. So if you're using Opera or Firefox and someone else is using Google Chrome, it might not work in that situation too. So make sure you're trying Google Chrome. Honestly, that tends to be the one that works the most. But so Ma initiates it, and then from everyone else's side, you accept it, and then you'll see that private call, and you're going to want to mute yourself on the Twitch collaboration call because we're talking over Discord.
Okay, I sent them, each of them, invite guests, right?
And are you guys seeing that on your end now from the creator dashboard?
Yeah, I've got the invite.
Okay.
Bebo, did you get the invite?
Not seeing it.
It's a pop-up. It will be a
See.
pop-up. A pop-out. It's gonna be as a pop-out, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, so if you click on Stream Manager on the Twitch dashboard, it's going to show you your little preview and have kind of some of the quick actions on the bottom. On the right, it has the activity feed, the chat, and then collaboration is all the way off to the right. For me, I see invite guests and it has a favorite panel. And because I've streamed with Ma before, I can actually see her name there. But I believe that there is where you'd see like almost the knock function.
Okay, so we have me and Sparry there, but our cams are not showing. This is the whole thing, which is confusing to me.
Oh, I just have my
So-
camera off right now on the collab, but there you can turn it on. I just also don't have the issue with the single source because my cam software allows me to use my cam on multiple sources. So you might have to do a virtual camera through OBS.
Okay. My
Which is where you
virtual
take
camera
like, so
is
Twitch
on.
will handle the pictures, the cameras, and the way that me and Malia and Rob did it, where you take the widget from Twitch and you go into OBS and you paste that link, and it's taking the camera sources from Twitch and putting it onto your OBS itself. So cameras coming from Twitch, but voice is coming from Discord.
I'm sorry, I laughed for Ophi because of what she wrote. Yeah, Ophi, that's how I feel most of the time. Okay, let me just check if we can do this. Let's see for
Also, hi
now.
everyone. Excited for Ma's table talk?
Thank you,
Hello.
AJ, for helping.
Of course.
Sparry, could you try just turning your cam on, because I want to see if it's gonna work, because mine isn't working. Like, it's not showing my cam at all.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your camera is active on Discord at the moment, which would make it not active on Twitch. So you want to turn off on Discord, but then turn on Twitch on that little collaboration window that pops up.
Okay, 1 second. Watch and learn, people. Like, we don't know what we're doing.
On it, you'd be surprised. I feel like I was new to collaboration. I didn't understand how many
Yay,
people were new
Sparry's
to
worked.
collaboration. Oh, it's working.
Nice for
It's
you. I
working
can
great.
see you.
Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to find the window where it went, but I've never had cam issues because I use a software instead of my
Mhm.
cam. There she
Same.
is. Hi, Ma.
Hello.
Hi,
It's
Ma.
working. Yay.
Yeah, ours is working. So now we gotta get our
Yeah.
other two guests in. Okay, let's see. Elena, did you get the pop-up?
No,
Okay, let me try to send you an invite again.
I'm on the stream manager, but I don't see it.
If you want to stream your screen in Discord for me, I could look at what you're seeing too and help.
But did you, by the way, your stream is still running, right?
Yeah, it should be running on Twitch,
Okay,
but
so
I
just
don't see
check
myself there either.
check Twitch now. Check Twitch. Sparry, how are you, dear?
I'm good, Ma. How are you doing? It's so good to see you again.
Yes, same here. I'm so. Not only am I battling whatever I have, but on top of that, I got sick from the kids. So
No.
how lovely.
That's the worst. They're like little petri dishes.
Exactly, yes. And the AJ was present when my son teabagged me, like literally an hour ago.
No.
Funny. Not only did he teabag her, and I was like, look, he's becoming a PvPer. You're draining
Oh
him
my
well.
Is he dobry, Bebo?
Literally.
Just checking
He
with
also said
Pa
hi,
if he
kitties,
got it.
and I was dying this
Bebo.
morning.
No, I've not got nothing. Even changed browsers.
So the pop out didn't get to
I
you?
can see the two of you on my channel, on my Twitch.
On your Twitch?
Yeah,
Okay. Sparry, I couldn't hear you there, just so you know.
Oh, I'm on push to talk because I'm yapping with my chat. So I'm trying to keep comms clear as we troubleshoot.
Yeah, sorry, people. We are troubleshooting.
You are all
Wow,
good.
Shay. Hi, darling. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, thank you, Roxy. The topic will be amazing. Also, shared chat should be now enabled. There we go. Guys, I'm gonna
Alina,
send you
do you want to share
links.
your screen for me in Discord so I can see what you're looking at?
yeah, I would love to. I just don't know how.
Wait,
Okay,
wait,
so
wait.
when you
AJ, wait a
you're looking
second.
at Discord right now?
I'm gonna
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
send Elena and Mart just proper invites. She just needs to click on it. It's in your Discord. Bebo, šaljem ti sad na Discord. Proveri. Again, I will repeat. Why is Twitch so difficult? Let's see. So I'm very glad that people like and are excited for the topic today. I prepared very nice questions and I'm really looking forward to asking all of you guys. So, and for everybody watching, they do not know the questions in advance. So it's proper surprise. Caleb! Yeah, Ghosty,
I don't
really glad to.
see an invitation in Discord either.
In your private message?
Ah, yes.
Private message. And this is people why you start 15 minutes early, so you can be 15 minutes late. Sparry, I just always love to see your Sailor Moon buns. They're just
Thank
so
you.
cute.
We
So
love space
cute.
buns in this house.
We love them.
Yes, we do.
So,
I
so Twitch is
I
saying I need to
accepted.
verify my account before I can call up.
There we go. Elena is coming in.
Oh, I see it. Perfect. Great job, Alina.
Can you now, is your virtual camera on?
Yes, it is.
Turn the one off on Discord if it's anyway on.
You mean streamer mode?
Well, you need to turn it off in Discord if you see like the camera on in Discord at all.
No, there's a stripe through my camera, so it should be off.
Okay.
But there's also a stripe on Twitch.
Okay, well, unstripe that one. Let's see if it's gonna pop up then.
Then it says I have to pick a camera, which is OBS virtual camera.
Yeah,
or
take the
my
virtual
webcam.
one. Take the virtual one.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it showing that though?
Change it to your webcam then. As
Yeah.
your virtual cam is set up to be what you see on OBS. That makes sense.
Woohoo! I love that emote. What is that?
I know, me too. It's so trippy.
That's from Sparry. That's so cute.
Thank you.
I love this.
By the way, Elena, why is it still showing that? Babe, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm turning my camera on and off because the first time I clicked it, I was able to change the settings, but now I don't get the settings.
That's so weird.
I have them. One sec.
Okay, take your time.
Yes.
Then it says
We
my
are.
camera is being used elsewhere.
Hi, Khaleesi. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, honey. It's being used elsewhere. It's probably Discord that is using it.
No, she doesn't have her camera on a Discord. I can see in the chat here. Nobody has their camera on their Discord.
Yay! At least we're 4 now. We're 4. Okay, let's see. Mark, where's your camera?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
double or anything.
We can hear but not see.
If I need to turn my camera on, do I need to stop the virtual camera?
I don't think so. I think it needs the virtual camera. But maybe
actually
try
don't know.
try it. Try around. You never know. Sparry, if you're saying anything to us, or are you speaking
No,
to
she's
your
No, I'm
stream?
just
Good.
talking
Okay.
to
Good. I
chat.
need to get used to that
There you
because
go,
I'm
Mark.
watching you and I'm like, is she speaking to
Once
me?
we have the conversation
Oh, there's
going, I'll turn
Pa.
it
Hi,
off, push to
Pa.
talk.
Everybody say hi to Pa and to me here in the
Hi,
back.
Pa.
Look, here's my hand. Where's my hand? There. Hello. Hello. Can you see me? Hello. There's my hand in the back.
We see.
Need to change the lighting in this place. 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, it's bad. Oh my god, look at this. Hi, Pa. I'm trying to get Pa to start streaming with me, so that might happen. Ooh, it's now
Ma and
sexy
Pa.
in here.
I
Yeah, it's
love
gonna be the
it.
Ma and Pa stream because JoJo Gaming actually gave me that idea because they look so cute.
Yeah, that's true. I stopped the virtual camera, but it still says my camera is being used elsewhere.
Okay, just I would suggest try to go off Discord, start the virtual camera again, go off Discord, and then try to get your camera working in the stream so you can see it there, and then join Discord. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, I'll try.
Wow, Pa, look at all of those people saying hi to you in our stream. That's amazing. Pa is the one who was behind the goulash recipe, by the way, you guys. He was the one making that one when I wasn't feeling good. Oh, thank you, Rodriguez. You can usually see where the camera is being used by going to Windows settings, Bluetooth, and devices cameras. Okay, I did not know that. Thank you so much. This has turned from Ma's table talk to Ma's fix the camera talk. I love it.
Ma's IT talk.
That should be Pa's IT talk. He's the IT guy.
Yes,
well,
yes.
I'm still a noob when it comes to Twitch and streaming, so.
Wait, I need to mute you.
Same, but we're learning together, and that's the beauty of it.
There, I muted Pa, so now I don't have to listen to him twice. I mean, I love listening to him, but you know.
You don't have to listen to me twice. Just once, Sven.
Ma and Pop's IT talk. That's definitely it. Okay, let's see. Luckily, we managed to put our 2-year-old gnome warrior that loves to teabag Ma to bed, like literally 15 minutes before the stream. Well, Pa did it because, you know, he's just mental today. That's very true. I don't know how many of you have currently toddlers in the house, but yeah, it's a different kind of madness that comes with toddlers. Okay, let's see if Elena is gonna get it to work, hopefully. Oh, 3-year-old boy. Oh my God, good luck. We're almost there. Oh my God, doctor. That's like, how do you do it?
You guys, I am so sorry, but I have no idea how to get this camera to work.
It's totally
It's
good. Here,
okay.
in Discord itself, do you see how when you're in the channel, it has the turn on camera, and then there's a computer with an arrow in it, and then a bunch of little widgets and a speaker option,
Yeah,
voice
yeah.
connected. Click
Yeah,
on
I
share
do.
your screen, which is the second one in from the left. And then honestly, just do entire screen up at the top if you want, and just click the screen where you have your Discord if you have more than one.
I have no idea we're surviving. As long as they're fed, it's good. You know what I mean? As long as they're fed, everything is fine. By the way, people, while you're waiting, and thank you so much for your patience, I
That's what you meant?
uploaded all of the Ma emotes to Twitch. So if you are follower, you will get only a few of them, 5 of them, but if you are a subby, you will get all of them. So please check them out. They're really, really cute. I love them. So yeah, if you want little Ma emotes, there you go. There's your incentive to subscribe. Unless you also want the pet, which, you know, WoW has made easier to get. But lots of cute
See
Ma
my
emotes.
screen now?
No, it's not sharing in Discord.
Avi, that's your favorite one. Out of all of the Ma emotes, you love the love emote. That is so very Avi.
There you go. It's sharing now. Let me click and see. Perfect. And I can see OBS. You have your virtual camera up. Go ahead and click on the gear icon to the right of virtual camera for
Bella
me.
Rose, thank you so much for the follow. We're having an IT talk currently, so we will be starting with our...
We'll figure this out. We'll figure it out.
We'll start with our table talk soon. Hi, Flocka! Yay! Everybody's here. Thank you so much, guys, for coming.
Here's a quick question. How do you blend in the chat in OBS? I know there is a way to do it. There's a way to do it.
I think
You don't have your chat on OBS?
I think Streamlabs is what is doing it brings in the shared chat feature automatically. I didn't have to do anything manually in OBS though, after setting up Streamlabs and that. It just kind of like,
Then it says you're very quiet
actually,
on
you know
stream.
what? Now that you say that, I don't think I,
Yeah, Streamlabs, I don't have that. I must have had it at some point, so it's probably confusing.
Bebo, boost your mic
so
a bit.
Streamlabs can be its own platform too, but a lot of people use it as a plugin for OBS because they do a lot of really good widgets and things like that. So you can download it like and have it sit inside OBS. That's actually how I'm editing my chat feature, like where it shows up on the screen.
Hello, Mr. Sparry. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. What's that yummy thing you're eating? Now I want to know.
It's not super fancy. It's literally just sardines and crackers.
Wait, that sounds
Simple is
amazing.
best.
I chased Mr. Sperry out of the house with my sardine breath today, so
I love a savory snack in the morning.
savory little snack, you know.
Do you know what my favorite snack is since I was pregnant with my boy? Really funny
Ooh,
combo.
yeah.
I love to eat smoked cheese, olives, green olives, and a bit of jam, like apricot
Oh.
or strawberry. And that combo, you can get me with that combo at midnight. You could literally wake me
Yeah.
up at 3 a.m. and I'd be like, nom, 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 nom.
I love a sweet savory combo so much. Like any kind of cheese board combo, so
yeah,
good. I love
yeah.
like a really like nice like fig jam
Oh yeah,
with
fig jam
like
is
a
good.
salty parm or something like that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
thank you so
good.
much.
So good. With like
Oh.
prosciutto or something.
Whoever didn't try that should at least once try it because the combo is something that really grows on you. Like, really, really.
Uh-huh.
It said, like, here, Muffin Man said, cottage cheese and honey. There's, like, some combinations that are really nice to the palate. Like, so good.
I think one of the strangest things that I like that wasn't a pregnancy thing, I just like, I don't know, food that scares other people, I guess. It's very mild, but people were really bothered by radishes and peanut butter. I love radishes and peanut butter together.
What did I do?
I don't know why. I was just like, this looks like it would be delicious, and I'm gonna try it, and it was.
It sounds very intriguing.
Everybody, don't knock until you try it.
Okay, there we
Alina,
go.
I'm gonna call you really quickly. We can try to get this figured out for you.
Or
we
we
can hop
can
back
just,
into this then.
I mean, it
Someone
depends
sent,
if
sent
we
me
could- if we could get it rolling. Like, AJ, try for 6 more minutes, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. We'll just talk, like, over Discord. I mean, that's the only idea I have, literally.
I set my camera in Discord to OBS virtual camera. Does that help?
Yes, should. Did you set the virtual camera to be from source and then your cam that you're using?
In OBS, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did.
See, when you receive the invitation for the call-out over Twitch, it asks you what camera you want to use and what microphone. So in that case, you would use the OBS virtual camera, and that's what, for me, I don't use the camera in Discord at all at the moment.
Yeah, just do you have that pop out, Elena, still for the Twitch stream together?
I have a pop-out for shared chat.
Yeah, can you go on that and just check if your camera is on there? Like it should not have the, you know.
should turn off. Are you streaming over Discord at the minute? Because in Discord I can there's an option to watch your stream, so maybe you have it open in Discord, and that's why it's occupying your camera.
No, well, we did that to try and see her screen because it was happening before the sharing was happening.
Yeah, but she's still live, so probably that's why the cam doesn't wanna. She's still live on Discord. Oh, there we go.
Hi,
There we go.
Yay!
There we go. Amazing. Great job.
I have no idea what I did.
It's okay. It's okay. And sometimes neither do we, but it works and it's working, so we're good. Good job, everyone.
Yay! Thank you so much, AJ.
Of course. I'm going to pop out now and watch. Love you guys. Have a good chat.
Love you.
Thanks
Thank
for your
you.
help.
Of course. Bye.
Well, there we go. We
And
finally
hi,
did
Pa. I didn't say hi to you yet.
it. Pa is focused on everything. Okay. Wow, we can literally start 30 minutes late, which is good in our counts, right?
Heck yeah.
Okay, let's do
Sorry,
this.
guys.
Let's do this. Welcome everyone to Ma's Table Talk episode 2. Tonight we gather here again at Ma's table to talk about something that basically touches so many of us behind the screens, which is our health and our psyche and the game that we play. Behind every character in Azeroth, there's a real person, like all of you here, with their own battles. Some of those battles are visible, some of those battles are invisible. Be it chronic illness, be it mental health struggles, be it neurodivergence, be it exhaustion, fear, I don't know, resilience, hope, you name it. For many of us, WoW has become more than just a game. It's a place where we can breathe and be at peace for a while, even if we do PvP, right? It's a form of peace. Basically a place where, you know, pain and stress and uncertainty about, you know, life and everything surrounding it can fade a bit into the background while we explore the world and laugh with friends, and or when we simply exist somewhere that feels a little lighter than in the real world. So tonight we want to talk openly, very openly, that's why Sperry is also with us, about those realities, about basically living with health challenges, about getting some answers maybe later in life which affect us all, about being misunderstood, about how gaming communities sometimes become unexpected like support systems. I'm really incredibly grateful for these 3 amazing people that were also patient enough to help with setting up the stream now. Join me tonight. Each bringing a different perspective and story. So first of all, we have Miss Sparry Streams. She's our first guest. She's known in the WoW community as the WoW therapist. Her streams are basically known and got to my attention because she was creating a space where gaming and honest conversations about mental health and about how you feel can exist side by side, which is not so common in the WoW world. She has built a community where people feel accepted and heard and safe, talking about real life struggles while adventuring, you know, through WoW. On a character that looks very much like herself. Right, Sperry?
I do what I can, yes. She's looking very therapist today, but yeah, thank you so much for just extending the invitation. This is so exciting, and this is something that I love, is just having conversations and transparency and normalizing the human experience, because I think a lot of people at one point or another have probably thought like, surely I'm the only one in the world dealing with this. And I think this community aims to show people that they're not, that no matter how lonely it feels or how complex it feels, like we just need a soft place to land. We need people who aren't afraid of the mess of our lives, I think. And so that's really what I aim to extend to everybody. So I'm so happy to have this conversation with you guys today.
Oh, thank you. Our second guest is Elina's Corner. She is, well, basically, she has reached out to me personally via DM on Insta, and she has spent many, many years of her life navigating kind of complex health struggles and the challenge of being heard within the medical system, which is a big, kind of a problem in the world generally. Her journey is one of many of people with invisible illnesses where, people can relate to that. And tonight she is joining us to share her experiences and her perspective. So welcome, Elina.
Hi guys, and thank you so much for inviting me to tonight's table talk. And yes, I have basically been struggling with my health ever since I was born. The first problem I had was a chronic inner ear infection, so that's kind of a small disclaimer. If I should react in a strange way, please feel free to laugh at me, but it does mean that I
Definitely not.
didn't hear what you said. So
Don't
it
worry
happens.
about that.
No, it's okay. It's happened to me a lot of times in my life, so it's fine. But that does mean that I didn't hear what you said. So,
Well, I
um,
will ask you lots of questions about, everything. So you tell me if you can't hear or didn't understand or whatever, but we will get to that shortly, so don't worry about that.
um,
Our third guest is someone very close to my heart, which is Pa, husband of a few years now. Recently he received an ADHD diagnosis at young 39 years of age. Um, so basically, after spending most of his life not fully understanding why his brain worked differently, that diagnosis opened a whole new chapter, I think, in his life of understanding more about himself and, his life and his past and everything surrounding that. So thank you so much, Pa, for gracing us for the first time.
You're welcome. Thank you. I hope the sound is good. Yeah, good. Um, yeah, I mean, to be diagnosed that late, don't know if you know this word, but it dishevels some things. It messes some things up, and gives you a chance to rebuild, if you want to say so. Um, the past, there was always so many questions that I'd never had an answer to in the past, but because of my diagnosis, those blanks kind of got filled, and yeah, I feel much more like myself now because I have an explanation, if you get what I'm saying.
That is very good. Thank you so much. So I imagine this talk to be the same as previous week, which is we're gonna have kind of topics on which I'm gonna ask all of you three something. So I see all of the gifting, and thank you so much. I'm trying to concentrate on this, so but thank you so much for gifting subs and everything. It's really appreciated. Let's start with personal journey stories, right? Barry, you call yourself the WoW therapist. How did that come to be, and what made you start creating a space like that within the WoW community?
Yeah, so with the whole WoW therapist thing, I have loved World of Warcraft for a very long time, but I haven't been a longtime player. And I know that's probably confusing for some, but I'll explain. So the WoW portion of it is I loved this game. I returned to it after I had my daughter. She's now 3, which is crazy. But I just didn't really have the bandwidth anymore for in-person socialization, but I know how important human connection is. So I kind of just it was like I have free will. I'm an adult. I'm able to do this. And at the same time, my husband had started to play RuneScape again, and it was like a subscription based game. So I was like, oh, if you're paying for a game, I'm gonna pay for a game, and I'm gonna start playing WoW again. And
Makes sense.
so yeah, it really brought that back. And then I, had joined a guild from a mass invite. And I started to make connections, one of which is Beastmaster Valkyrie, who I know just talked about some of our mutual in-game experiences on the first table talk. But the therapist part was I'm a licensed therapist, so I'm a licensed master social worker in the state of New York. And for me, everything that we do has to do with your mental health, whether it's a game,
100%.
whether it is reading a book, whether it's going to work, everything comes back to who we are as, mental, emotional, spiritual people on this planet. And truth be told, there is a bigger call I feel that I want for this community. Ultimately, I want people to not feel so alone.
Yeah.
There was a significant story that really impacted um just like how I saw the importance of connection and the importance of like creating pockets of safety in the internet, stratosphere. And there was somebody who passed away by suicide um at a very young age due to exchanges within like voice channel in a video gaming community. And I was like, yeah, I don't want that to keep on going.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It can
when
be
you
very toxic. We know that.
yeah,
Everybody,
it's like
each
devastating.
one in this channel, in this like chat, I'm quite sure has met at least once in their gaming
Yeah.
life somebody toxic. Like, so
Yeah, it's really devastating, but it's also like I don't know, I once heard that like in order to find your purpose or your call or to determine what you're going to spend your time doing is like figure out what kind of like lights you on fire, whether it's like I have this righteous indignation against it or I'm like really passionate about it. And I'm like, I don't want people to feel like that's their only choice anymore. I don't want people to feel like they have to escape their life. And so I really try to cultivate this place where people who can be naturally isolated, who have multiple complex, like a lot of gamers, this is our safe haven, and they may never go to therapy because I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but sometimes when you're a gamer and you try to talk to a mental health professional about your mental health, one of the first things they'll recommend is you need to stop gaming so much.
yeah.
You need to stop being online so much. You need to go outside and touch some grass. And I'm
I
like,
changed
okay,
5 therapists because of that
yeah,
sentence. I don't
it's
go
like,
to
oh,
therapists anymore because of that sentence because they're like, "Oh, you gotta stop. You gotta, touch grass." And I'm like, "No, I need to touch
no,
Azeroth. That's what I need to do."
yes. Yes, this is my safe space. And it's like, yes, everything in moderation, absolutely. But I think to be somebody who understands gamers and to still provide any kind of like advice or support outside of just like the physical stuff, I I just want to be happy to do that.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Sperry is crazy in chat already.
Yeah, we can see the chat. Well, I can see the chat. He's crazy, definitely. Thank you so much. Elina, would you like now to share just a tiny bit about your health journey and how it has shaped your life over the years? Basically the things that you wrote me or however how much you want to share.
Yeah, sure. Um, well, I was born with a lot of health problems, things like bad hearing. I had problems with my lungs. I was in an incubator like 3 hours after I was born because of breathing problems. I had 4 operations on my ears before I was 12, two more when I was an adult. I was born with a curvature in my spine, and I had to do physical therapy because of that when I was a little kid. I was in and out of the hospital all the time. I was out of school a lot of the time. because I was ill or in the hospital or recovering, stuff like that. Um, and because of that, I didn't have any friends in school. I was being bullied in school. Um,
So basically,
even when,
your health also impacted your mental health because it's like
yeah, definitely.
correlating and linked to each other.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, the other kids in school just didn't understand. I was never in school, but I was one of the best students. So that didn't go down well.
Can't imagine.
So I was bullied from the age of 4 until I was like 17, and I went to an adult school. Uh, that was like going from hell to heaven. So that was awesome. But my health problems continued. You know, I have a combination of sort of like invisible things, like MECFS, if you guys know what that is.
You can gladly
Chronic
explain.
chronic fatigue syndrome.
Okay.
I have, but I also have a lot of stuff that is real. Um,
I don't
like
think that the other thing is not real. It's just, I think, Sparry, am I right? They just label it as
Invisible.
invisible because they cannot
Yeah.
really explain, you know, where it's coming from or why it's happening. This is the only like reasoning to invisible because it's not invisible. It's very much ruining people's lives.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, because I had this invisible illness, I was diagnosed with an official diagnosis from the DSM-4. It was still DSM-4 back then, but once that was in my file, they never took me seriously ever again. I mean, I was having a pulmonary embolism, and I was being told that I needed to go home, make a cup of tea, and take a deep breath. And if I hadn't convinced my doctor to do a blood test, I would not be sitting here today. So,
Wow.
and I have so many stories like that. I am 54 years now, and I have been doing this for like 38.
So a
So
long
when,
journey.
yeah, when I sent you a message, I was really not feeling well.
Yeah, I'm glad you reached out. This is why what links now what you just said with Sparry is I always thought for me that therapists are also people who work in restaurants or cooks or hairdressers, because they listen to you, they listen to your problems, you know, they genuinely want to know what's going on. And sometimes they're big divas and yappers, but generally, you know, not everybody who is a therapist is a therapist. We are lucky
Yeah.
enough to have Sperry, who is a therapist but also somebody who genuinely loves the community and, you know, gives back to it. Martin, I actually have a question for you, even though I mean we're like literally 1 meter from in front of each other. But what was the moment like when you finally received your ADHD diagnosis at 39?
Um, well, I've the way I work is if I see something coming towards me, my brain immediately needs to be prepared. So before even receiving the diagnosis, I was already starting to churn in my head what it would feel like to get it and what the implications are of it, and what kind of questions get answered
From my past that I did not have an answer to, and all those things. So getting the diagnosis itself was it wasn't confirmation. It was just like, okay, this is real now. So the stuff that's been thought about in the head, we're going with this now. And then I started on a new path of trying to, you know, find myself. This is one of the things that, you know, I've occupied my life with the most, trying to find myself, because now I have the answers. But before I was like, why is this so difficult for me and easy for other people? So yeah, it's been very liberating mentally to receive the diagnosis.
No, thank you. It was liberating for everybody because I guess because you can more understand than the person, and what they're struggling with. Let's go to exactly that, understanding the struggle. Sperry, from the perspective of someone who talks with many people about their struggles, what are the most common mental or emotional challenges you see players dealing with? Like, you can
Yeah.
tell sometimes, when you're playing. Like, I literally, when I go PvP, sometimes I would just want to give a hug to that warrior charging me, going like, Shh, it's gonna be
Mhm.
fine, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people have become very anxious interacting with other people in the world. So there's a mass amount of social anxiety. And I think that's just because chat has already talked about it a little bit, the intensity and how sometimes people just kind of are on the receiving end of other people's bad day. I call it like bleeding on each other. Sometimes we get to the point where like all of us are hurting, all of us have been hurt in this world. And so sometimes we end up like bleeding on each other. And I think that that has created an extraordinary level of social anxiety where it's like people have felt isolated because they haven't been able to find their safe space, their safe people. They don't know how to get started. It can be very overwhelming. I know from the new WoW player experience from my husband, some of it is like there's so much about this world, there's so much about all of the systems and structures that it's like, okay, as somebody who used to play in vanilla, I can see how there's a lot of quality of life changes and there's, a lot of things that have been streamlined and stuff. But for somebody who's brand new, it's like, oh, well, now I'm trying to take all of this in. And now I have somebody, screaming at me in chat because I
Oh
didn't
god.
know something that apparently everybody knew. And like there are a lot of unspoken things that people who have been playing for a while, we just know. And it's been an incredible learning experience for me gaming with my husband because he's like, well, how do you know this? How do you know? And I
Yeah.
know my friend Sam, SCF plays, she has experienced similar things with her husband. But yeah, I would say a lot of social anxiety. I've also noticed that there are a lot of people. Oh, hi, Artemir. It's good
Hi,
to see you.
Artemer. Welcome.
Um, yeah, there are a lot of people that have been in either marginalized or misunderstood communities that have found sanctuary in Azeroth, as we already talked about as well. So I think people who are trying to boundary test or identity test has been another big layer. So something that I often say to the Sperry Squad community is like, don't apologize for who you are. Don't apologize for how much you share. Don't apologize for being you. They had to get back at me last night when I had my own moment of like
Yeah, I heard.
being human on stream. And they were like, Sperry, how about you practice what you preach, first of all? So yeah, I think a lot of it is like trying to recover from really hard social experiences, overcoming the anxiety and trying to break down isolation. Um, those are the major pieces that I see through the people that I've talked to.
That's amazing. Thank you for
Hmm.
for explaining that. It's very
Hmm.
nice to hear that verified kind of, because as
Yeah.
somebody who is playing for a very long time, you know, I try to be when I play, I try to be really inclusive of the new people, because I always
Hmm.
say, why make somebody's, day worse in WoW if, the real world is already a mess enough. Like, here
Yeah.
we come to unwind and to be happy, and
Yeah, this is a game.
exactly,
This is
we pay
supposed to
for this
be a leisure
experience.
activity,
You
you
know,
know?
we love paying for this experience, but we still pay for this experience, so it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
Elena, you mentioned that many doctors dismissed basically kind of how you felt and your symptoms over the years. um what does that do to someone emotionally when they feel, unheard or not believed?
It's devastating. You know, in psychology, I think it is very much believed that when you tell like a child that he's incapable of doing stuff, that he's unworthy, unloved, nothing will become of this child, that the child will start believing it and will start living it. But for some reason, they don't think it works the same way for adults, and it does. I mean, if you get told all the time that it's in your head, between your ears, that it's mental, psychological, stress related, it starts becoming that. You know, and the strange thing is that every single doctor that I spoke to a long time ago was saying that it was mental. So then I asked the doctor, then please send me to a psychologist or a psychiatrist so we can work on that. And they actually told me, but that is such a hard diagnosis. I was like, every doctor can give me that diagnosis, and then all of a sudden a doctor who studied for it is unable to do that? That was just mind-blowing. And,
Yeah, there
you
is
know,
unfortunately lots of that going around. Usually it applies not to therapists, but to actual physical, like doctors for physical ailments, that they have issues believing
I,
us.
yeah.
They for somebody like me who has also been like 13 years in this health madness hell, I very often found myself having to explain myself to doctors that I don't want to be seen as a number. Like literally that sentence, I would go to a doctor and tell him, I don't want you to see me as a number. I am not a number. You know, I need to be seen, I need to be heard. If it's my choice to do something, then it is my choice, even if you don't like it or like it. Yes, we can talk about it, but you cannot force me to do anything. But you have to believe me in what I say, because by the book, all of our bodies have the same nipple sizes, we have the same heights, the same, statures, whatever. We have everything is like numbers and letters, yes, but in the real world all of us are different, and all of us have different pain, kind of pain tolerance, different, guts, different nipples, like whatever, but we are different. You can't just take everybody like face value like that, and many doctors unfortunately do not kind of cater to that. um Martin, looking back now, with your diagnosis, what things from your childhood or early childhood suddenly make much more sense?
Oh, you've caught me now. I know that this is specifically, I mean, this is a child thing that some children do until, they're very much 10 or 11. But I remember always being very impulsive and vibrant. And the one thing is my emotions, they would sneak up on me, if you know what I mean. There was no warning, and I would be angry immediately to the highest height, and I would take a while to calm down. I can see this is happening in my son and Alex these days as well.
Let's hope so.
He's very, very impulsive, and just like all of a sudden it's like he could become he could become 1 second, and then the next second all of a sudden he's in a rage, and it's unpredictable and how do you say it? Yeah, well, unpredictable. That's the best word to describe it, I would say, and impulsive. That's it. And I've noticed like through my memory essentially isn't the best either, so I can't really remember that much from my childhood, unfortunately. But yeah, I also found out that this has something to do with ADHD and all that stuff. So it's making a lot of sense. The past, when something comes up, a memory or something that I've not had in a while, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what you did there, Martin. I get you. I'm not anymore. Why did I do that, or what's wrong with you? Why did you do it this way and not that way? You know, those kind of thoughts are basically eliminated because, you know, I've made sense out of it.
Yeah, or your wife coming to you and going like, "Why did you do that?" Not not me going like, "Why? I just don't understand. Please explain it to me." Oh,
It's so
it's okay.
crazy
It's
that you
okay.
say that, Ma, because that is like one of the biggest lines that triggers me to the moon when my husband says, "Hey, why did you do this?" And I'm like, I immediately panic because I'm like, "Why? What do you mean why?" Like I'm following the vibes. I don't know what I am in the flow state of life. I have no why to anything that I do. I'm not an intentional person. So when he's like, "Hey, why did you do this out of curiosity?" Like he's just genuinely trying to know. I'm just like, I I am simply a vessel adrift in this world, and I am just wherever I end up, I
Listen,
end up.
I'm gonna quickly just bypass all and tell you a quick story. It's literally 1 minute because I want to make you all laugh. Literally 10
Yes.
days ago, me and Pa in the bathroom, filling the because I can't bend over properly. So he usually, puts the dirty washing in the washing machine. And the washing machine, we had a new one, like not new, like half a year old or something. And it has like a weird part on the inside that kind of is sticking out a bit. And Pa sees that thing, or we see this machine every day for like 6 months now, and he saw the thing. And I could see it in his eyes that he's gonna do it, but I was like, no, he's not gonna. And he goes and pulls the thing, and it snaps out of the socket basically. And I'm like, why? But why would you pull it? And he couldn't put it back in. So he went to, but understand me, I'm like somebody who has really bad OCD. And for me, it's like, why would you do that? So he went off to find some stuff to fix it. And in my like sheer unbelievable, like it wasn't anger, but it was just like,
Like
why?
disbelief.
I snapped it back in, and as he came back, it was already fixed by me, and he was like, "Okay, don't pull on stuff," and I'm like, "Please don't pull on stuff."
Well, you know, in my brain, I was trying to solve a problem, and the problem is that that plastic ring is really difficult to clean. So I was like, no, there's got to be a way to, you know, take this out and like clean it easier, you know, rather than having to bend down and do all this other stuff. So I saw the thing; it's like a flap. You know, and I was like, oh my god, this makes sense. Do it, you know? So, you know, impulsivity, what are you going to do? But, you know, I've learned throughout my life to, you know, be prepared for consequences and, you know, be ready to admit mistakes and, you know, try to fix the problems that then occur because, you know, you're trying to solve another problem first.
You should
It
have
is what
seen
it
my
is.
face. I was like literally like this. But why? He looked at, but he's really cute. Look at his chubby cheeks. But when he goes like this and goes like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, oh god, can't even be mad. Anyway, okay. That was the funny story. Since we're talking about daily life, I want to talk about the impact on daily life. Sperry, when somebody or someone struggles mentally or emotionally,
Mhm.
even gaming can sometimes feel difficult, right?
Mhm.
So how do you help in your community people reconnect with that joy, or balance it out?
Mm. It's very tough because I don't know that there is necessarily a way to reconnect with the joy, because the challenge with joy is you can't experience joy if you are sheltering yourself from fear or anger or sadness or any of the bad. Like, we have to allow everything in if we want the intensity of joy. And actually, I don't know if you see in chat, but Absolver is one of my IRL clients, and we've worked at length with this. I will say I've worked at
Hi,
they
Absolver.
these guys will know what I'm talking about. Is we don't should ourselves on the Sperry stream side of things. So if you start to have the ruminations of I should be enjoying this more, or I should be able to stop thinking about work, or I should I should do XYZ, or I should be doing this. It is that is what eventually chokes out the ability to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
Fox is teasing me. There are some shit versus should stories on my channel. But yeah, so I think the biggest thing is, I would say a good somatic release would be helpful for everybody, especially if we've been kind of like shrimped up in our gamer chairs and playing for hours. You know, pay attention to your muscles, pay attention to your body, pay attention to where you feel tension and all of that stuff. And I think if you give yourself a quick reset and just say like, oh wow, like nobody gave me permission, but I'm an adult and I'm allowed to give myself permission. I'm allowed to enjoy this. Sometimes I have to outsource my permission to Mr. Sperry because I'm like, I don't feel like I should be able to do this. Like I feel like there's something else I should be doing, or whatever. And he has to tell me like, no, it's fine, like there's nothing else to be done. Like let's just sit and relax and do the thing, and it's okay. So yeah, I think that is the biggest thing, is recognizing that you've got to practice being fully present. Everything in therapy is reps. It's all repetition. And that's something that's a hard pill to swallow for people who want immediate resolve of, I want to be able to do this. Tacos and margaritas have a lot with gaming chair struggles. Yes, let's do some mindful eating, some mindful drinking. Let's really take it all in.
What about us? We're
But
not
Before you took off.
allowed. I'm not allowed, bro. Don't be like that.
yes, but yeah, I mean, I'm a grown woman and I'm allowed to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, I am going to allow the negativity to come just as much as I allow the positivity to come. Last night, I felt like I had just lost a round with like Tyson in the ring against life, because it was like a culmination of everything at once. But I still turned stream on because I knew that it would I knew that this was what the mission was. This is like, okay, not every day is good, not every day is perfect, all of that stuff. And it turned out being a really great stream. Like I don't know, like I had a cheeky little cry in the beginning and everybody was here and we talked about it and we processed through it, and then by the end of stream I was laughing and I was enjoying everything and having a good time. And so I think that that's really about letting go, coming back to joy, coming back to peace and all of that kind of stuff. Just letting yourself breathe and have permission to let whatever comes.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know from my standpoint of view, with my physical struggles, that I literally once I overslept my own stream, and two times I didn't even start streaming or let anybody know because I was in so much pain that I was just trying to pain manage myself. And then two days ago, I actually went on, even though it was the last thing I wanted to do. Like literally, I was like, if I log now and I have to communicate with people, I'm gonna shoot myself. But I still did it because I love my community. I love all the people that, are so giving and so forthcoming and so amazing. So I went on the stream, and after 2 hours of streaming, I literally said to everybody there, and I think AJ was there and Caleb was there, and I said this was like one of the nicer streams because I was being myself and letting myself feel the pain during the stream and telling people about it. But everybody was so nice and chatting with me that at times I would forget about it. So it was like literally like a pain pill to talk to people. But it is an amazing thing. Like, just whoever says that gaming is for kids and that it's not helpful can just kiss Ma's ass. Let's move on.
Yep, 100%. It's actually scientifically proven that like co-regulating and basically just like being in company with one another, it is healing on the nervous system, and it can be healing for like different physical facets of your being. So when you say it's like a pain pill, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. I agree. Elena, how have the last few years, especially after COVID, changed your daily life and your relationship with your health?
Um, it hasn't changed it in a good way because I actually got COVID twice and it complicated everything. Um, and now I have more issues at the doctor because I am fairly sure that I have long COVID and no doctor wants to give me that diagnosis. And my life has actually gone from bad to worse. And I can do less and less and less. And it is so frustrating to know that, like, 4 months before the pandemic started, I turned 50 and we went to, no, that was actually in the middle of a lockdown. I turned 50 and we went to Germany somewhere to celebrate my birthday because we weren't allowed to celebrate it here. I walked 15 kilometers, like without any issue whatsoever. 4 months later, I had COVID, and if you let me do that now, you're going to ask me if I need an ambulance. I
No.
can't do that anymore. And
Mhm.
we used to go away on weekend days. We used to go visit cities and do fun stuff, hang out. And I just can't do that stuff anymore. And it is so frustrating.
Yeah,
I
but the
miss it.
doctors don't believe you about the long COVID.
No, they don't. I have asked several doctors about it, and the only answers they can come up with is, no, 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 we don't have to look in that direction, or no, that's a coincidence.
Mm. Well, this is frustrating. I mean, like, what
Very.
is the how does the future look like, if in terms of what are your doctors telling you? I mean, you have literally an autoimmune disease, like array of autoimmune diseases, and
Mhm.
that on top of it, what are they saying, like, for future wise?
Nothing. They just don't um, acknowledge that it actually exists, so they're not helping me with it in any way. I have to figure out everything myself. And when I do figure out stuff and when I bring it up with the doctor, they just ignore it or say it's a coincidence or not true, or,
Well,
I
there you go.
am
You
not
have
a
already Miss Mia asking you stuff because she's a nurse, and we have Aria who actually managed to get a long COVID diagnosis. So please,
Mhm.
reach out to them, ask also about them. This is why I love you guys. Like, the
Mhm.
community will always be there for you. Like, this is what I told you when you messaged me back then. I told you, right, be open about everything. I mean, I came out to everybody and I was like, oh, hey guys, by the way, after such a lovely time of, cooking for you and streaming for you, I'm dying.
Mhm.
It can't get worse
Mhm.
than that. You know what I mean? Everybody is here to help you and love you and show support to you. So never hesitate to, reach out. And even on bad days, this is why in my Discord, albeit it's a very silent Discord, I have, a section where you can just vent. Just go there and be
Yeah.
like, I hate this. I hate the doctors. I would go there, like, but I would do it like 5 times a
I
day.
love
So,
that. If I can answer, Miss Mia said you need to find new healthcare provider. I did change several times, and I'm running out
Mhm.
in healthcare providers in the neighborhood. I have one that I have somewhat of a good relationship with. He is not the best doctor, but definitely not the worst. So I am trying to work on our communication and our relationship, trying to keep it okay,
Mhm.
because he will send me to a specialist or stuff like that when I need it. But when I get to the specialist, that's when all hell breaks loose.
mm. Have you ever taken somebody with you who will advocate for you? I mean, if I don't make me come there, girl. I'll come there and go with you and advocate for you, and you can ask Pa. That is not a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing for
I
you,
would
but not for the
actually love
doctor.
to take you with me to them because well, it's not funny, it's very frustrating because when I have to stand up for myself, I just clamp up. My mind goes blank and I don't know what to say anymore. And then when I get home, then all this stuff pops in my head. Oh,
Okay,
I
so
should have said this.
so
Oh, I
next
should have
time
said
you're
that.
on at the doctor's, you call me via Discord, and I'll be like, listen here. No, but we're here for you, really. You will get there eventually where, you shouldn't let your health, your physical health, get to such a bad point where, you talking will not become an option anymore. Do you know what I mean? You need to advocate for yourself sooner better than later. So it's really
And I am
important.
so not good at that.
Well,
That's
we'll
because
practice. Me and you will have one-on-ones in practice, and Sperry,
no,
will give
I
me the
love
pointers on how to make you, open up like a shell.
there might actually be a little piece of hope. I was sent to another specialist, and she cut a piece out of my ass. Unfortunately, not big enough that it got any smaller, but it was tested, and it came back positive for a connective tissue disorder.
Oh, well, there
And
you go.
that could actually be the cause of, well, maybe 80% of my health problems, including the chronic fatigue syndrome and, being very sensitive to things like long COVID and all that.
It
But
makes
the
sense,
thing
yes.
is, a lot of doctors don't know what that is. And so it's easier and also not easier at the same time. So we're working on it.
Good, good. As said, I'm always here if you need, some help.
Thank you. Well,
Of course, darling. My lovely Pa. How did undiagnosed, this is the clincher, how did undiagnosed ADHD affect your things like work and focus and relationships? Past, not me, I'm perfect. Anyway, or self-confidence throughout your life?
That's a big topic. We only have 2 hours. I mean,
Please keep it short. Thank you.
it's basically affected my entire life, all the time, in every single aspect. Friendships, relationships, work. Let me put it this way. I've never been at a job longer than 4 years. Because eventually a mistake happens that nobody wants to tolerate anymore or can. I don't have an explanation. Everybody sees me as something that I'm not. And then I have to go and make a new beginning. New beginnings, for me, very used to it. I can do it with a breeze, I love new beginnings.
Not with relationships, though.
No, obviously not. No, what I'm saying, jobs and generally other stuff.
Okay, good.
I was married before. I was married to the lovely Ma, and I can
You
probably
are,
say
bro. You are. Don't was me. You are. I heard was. I was married to Lovely Ma. So
no. I said I was married before I was married to you. That's what I
okay.
said.
I was like,
Sorry, I'm my mom.
Mr. Sperry, please come on. Was. Thank you.
And I can say to like 80% certainty that that relationship went downhill because of the ADHD that I didn't know that I had. So that was 10 years of my life, you know. Then, like I said, when I was living in Scotland, I lived in Scotland for 12 years, as you can probably hear. I also had many struggles there with jobs all the time, and all sorts of, friends. I've never been part of a group of friends, that known each other for many, many years, because people end up leaving or I end up leaving. And so, yeah, my life is basically constant change. It never settled down. It settled down on when I met Anya. That's when I settled down. She was the first person that I met in my entire life that stuck around and wanted to help me unravel this mystery
Like a
that I have
leech.
in my head. No, well, it's sexy leech.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, I hope that I forgot the question that you asked, so I'm going to assume that I've answered it.
Yes, you did answer it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mhm.
Ophi, don't say it. Or else he will see. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about WoW as a refuge. Sperry, why do you think WoW can, or do you even think that WoW can become such a powerful emotional refuge for people dealing with stress or illness or mental struggles?
I think that there's a couple different layers with it. One, I think there are so many different pieces of WoW that you can experience whatever it is that you want. You can go full grind into like higher end content. You can go into PvP where you're constantly like maintaining hypervigilance against your like for your surroundings, and like you're having to respond quickly. And to some people, that's a very soothing thing because there's no more room in your brain for whatever other ruminations or trauma live there. You can play a cozy game, you can gather, you can quest, you can now do
Housing.
housing. So, yes, there are so many different facets of this world that I think, however, your brain finds comfort, you can figure out a place for yourself here. And with people who have survived trauma of any, well, basically, if you have existed in this world for like a few days, there is something that has happened that you're like, oh my gosh, like, okay, yeah, this is where we're not in we're not in Kansas anymore, so to speak. So there
Dorothy?
are, yeah, it's like all of us have survived something to get to where we are now. And the way that we process the things that we've survived are not cookie cutter. They're not the same. Some people need lack of stimulation. Some people need overstimulation in order to regulate them. And the way that your brain and your nervous system adjust to keep you alive and to keep you steady and stable, it's within your own inner world of adjustment. So like what works for me is not going to work for Alina and or Yuma or my husband, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to be different for everybody. And so I think WoW offers such a beautiful feast of offerings. And I think I've pretty much dabbled in everything except for pet battling. And I have to say, at least from like the consumer standpoint, um, if I can't connect with one, I can move to another. And I think, it's that's kind of what I said the other day. Everybody's book reads differently. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I think that it is absolutely a refuge. And I think that there is something for every single person out there. Like, if you can figure out how to use a PC and how to game, then there is something that WoW will offer you.
Yes, amazing. Amen to that. Come on, chat. Let's do an
Hmm.
amen.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Elena, how has gaming or being part of online communities helped you cope during difficult periods in your health journey? Has it?
I have been playing since vanilla. I'm playing for somewhat over 21 years now. And I have had a time, especially in vanilla, where I was in a guild and, you know, we would do fun stuff together. We would hang out together. I can remember pulling all-nighters, just fishing at the shoreline of the sea, chatting to people. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
um, you know, we used to do dungeons, raids, and it was a whole ton of fun. I do miss that today somewhat because I am not a good player. I am very average and I don't understand anything of what I'm doing. I just push buttons and that's about it.
But that's good. That's
Um,
how you play.
that used to be good, but when the dungeon finder was introduced to the game, for me, that really ruined the social aspect of the game because we didn't need each other anymore. You know, back in vanilla, we used to have a team that we did dungeons and raids with. We would wait for another, we would understand each other, we would. The tank needed me. I was a healer back then. The tank needed me. I needed the tank. You know, you needed each other, and that is not so much the case anymore.
Do you feel
And
that maybe since like the past expansions, it has gone a bit like uphill again? Because I had the same issue that you had with the feeling of the toxicity in the game just being over the charts. But then nowadays it feels again like there's more, especially housing has brought so many people back to the community where you can actually, you know, engage with people while building and everything. We have many now literally online in the chat that I met through housing and that are so chill and that will go with you to all the dungeons and do stuff with you. You know, just you can be literally my 2-year-old spamming the keyboard and they would still go with you. So, you know, it's bringing people back together.
yeah, that's a bit of a me problem, I guess, because I got such an aversion against doing stuff together in Warcraft because of the toxicity that I just don't do it anymore. And I know there are plenty of good people, but for some reason I don't run into them very often. It's just now with the housing community that it's starting to get a lot better for me too. So yeah,
Well,
I
Elena,
really hope it
we
will.
will make you known in the community, so now everybody will, you know, run dungeons with you, and I can tank for you, and Pa can heal for you, and you know, we will be there for you to get you through that because it's very much. This is another like Sperry knows about this the anxiety that is induced because of you know, not feeling adequate. And funnily enough, this inadequacy is also very big in the housing community because, you know, we have so many people doing such amazing jobs, and yet you can do the best job ever, what you think you can do, and you still feel like you're not doing enough because there are so many people doing such a great job, right? On the other hand, you have, you know, people who just level or go raids or anything else, and they also feel inadequate because there is a big world with lots of stuff to do, and you just need to give your best. And if your best isn't good enough for somebody, that's not a you problem, that's a they problem, right? So they need to, you know, if they want to leave or kick you, so what? Then, you know, I got kicked out of many times out of a dungeon and I just went fishing or, you know, did something else and then went again. It's about, you know, just keeping at it. Your anxiety will always be there, but trust me when I tell you that it's there for all of us, even the best of us. So never, you know, never give up on that one, please.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I have such a love-hate relationship with Warcraft, actually, because of the anxiety, but I love it. I am unable to quit I just keep coming back to it, and
Good.
I hope to be 75 and still be sitting here playing.
Oh, anybody knows WoW Grandma? I literally follow the woman. Like WoW
Yeah.
Grandma, she's like 82, something like that. And she's amazing. She's just sitting there
Mhm.
like and talking to people. We see people are in like they know her. She's amazing.
Yeah. She
Anytime
is
I go
amazing.
into her stream and I say hi, she's really nice. You can obviously tell her age, but she's at it. She was at it even with just one arm just recently. She had surgery and
Mhm.
stuff, so she can only use one arm, and she made a whole house with one arm. I was genuinely impressed. I would just go there and watch her do it and be like zenning out. So
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome.
we all strive for this. We all strive to be like 85 and, still playing
Mhm.
and still, roaming Azeroth. That is I
Yeah.
see a tail on Sparry's camera. I'm like, what the heck was
Mhm.
that? That was
I'm
cute.
hoping that my dogs are not gonna act up. They're getting a little froggy, but I'm like, I've got the mute button on ready.
But they're cute. They're cute.
Mhm.
Um,
Cute but naughty.
what was Martin. Has WoW, well, I mean, Pa is generally a player that plays many games. Ma here only plays WoW. Pa plays everything on Earth that is playable. That's a bit over exaggerated, but you know what I mean. So my question is actually about WoW and gaming in general. If it has helped you deal with ADHD, like in any way, whether it's, through focus or relaxation or connection with others.
Well, for me personally, gaming is a big deal because you know I would say like this is all information that I've came to the conclusion of in the recent years after I found out that I have ADHD, and that is that my brain doesn't rest when it sleeps 100%. It's just impossible. I could sleep for 4 or 5 hours and feel refreshed. If I have had a good few hours before that to switch off, let my brain rest through, like Sperry said earlier, overstimulation or the other thing. It's one or the other thing, right? It's overstimulation or understimulation, right? And it depends. For me, it's not always the same. Sometimes I want to be overstimulated, and that's how my brain rests. But most of the time, it's just I need to occupy my brain with something that is closed in. Let me say, like a video game is something wonderful. Every aspect of it can be understood. Every aspect of it can be explored. Real life is not like that. There will always be something you won't know. There's always be something that will just overwhelm you because you're not aware, or some kind of fear or anxiety will always be there. A video game is nice and cozy. You can understand everything about it, all its assets and facets, and my brain loves that and enjoys that, and it rests through that. So like I said, I could sleep, I could sit on my desk and play for 3 hours straight, and then go sleep for 3 hours, and I would wake up in the morning and feel completely rested. And when I sit and I sleep for 8 hours, or even 10 or more, I wake up and my head is just a mess and it's sore, and I can't function.
Is this for all ADHD people, Sperry? Because, I go nuts about that.
No, so there's two different types of ADHD. So there's inattentive ADHD and hyperactive ADHD. Typically, men present with hyperactive ADHD and women present with inattentive ADHD. So I am like trademark or textbook inattentive. So I require a lot of sleep. I do a lot of like screensaver mode. One of the common like pieces of ADHD brains is we thrive on dopamine. So what Martin is experiencing is like once he gets another piece of information, and once he gets like the completion piece of games, he's getting a hit of dopamine, and so that's what's fueling the fire and keeping him alive. He can't get dopamine when he's asleep, and so it's kind of like constantly chasing the dopamine high.
I've also noticed, maybe I'm not sure if that's just me or if everybody that has ADHD is like that, but I seem to have a problem generating dopamine by myself. My brain has an issue just through thoughts and actions to create dopamine by itself. You know what I mean, Sperry, by that? It needs to be stimulated from the outside to have some kind of effect. It can't produce it itself, you know.
Yes,
Let me stimulate you.
100%.
That should be a sentence now.
Yeah.
What? Sorry.
Good thing he didn't hear it. Okay.
Oh.
I'll tell you after the stream, Pa. Don't worry. Well, Caleb is calling me out. It's Caleb's fault. Anyway, let's talk about finding strength.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this is part of ADHD, you know. Okay, sorry. There's two parts of ADHD. One is interrupting people, and the other one is I forgot what I wanted to say now.
Yes. There you go. That's proper ADHD for you.
Shit.
Exactly.
It's okay. If you remember at any point, please just shout it out.
It's fine. Wait, I'm trying. It's nearly there. No. What's
It's
going?
like a good fart, you know. It's nearly there. Anyway, finding strength. Maybe that's what's gonna trigger him now. Wait, give it a second. No, there's nothing. Anyway, Sperry, when you see people in your community struggling mentally, and you have this whole subsection, Ask Sperry, you know, what kind of things, be they small or big, do you encourage them to focus on to get through tough days or periods of time?
It depends on the circumstance. I think I'm giving you a lot of it depends answers, but
I
everybody's
know,
so
but
unique
it
and the
depends.
situation is so unique. Ultimately, I think a lot of it is like when you have hard days, it feels like all of your days are going to be equally as hard, right? Or if you are navigating a challenging circumstance, it feels like it will never end. So a lot of the advice that I give people is focus on the now, recognize that this is temporary, that circumstances will change. And sometimes they change for the worse, right? Like there's no guarantee that things are going to be better, but they're not going to stay the same. And that is with the caveat that you continue to put one foot in front of the other. So it's recognizing that sometimes your body does need to stop and it needs to rest, and your brain needs to stop and it needs to rest. At some point, you need to make the decision to get back into it. Like I think about Alina, like with your chronic health issues, there's likely been rare moments of comfort for you physically, and now especially mentally and emotionally, but yet you still persist. You know, you still continue to pursue answers. Ma, you're getting up every day, you're still coming to stream. You know, you like there are challenging days where your pain is intense and you are feeling very, you know, we've all experienced hopelessness before, but you continue to move forward and you say, this may not be clear to me where the solution is going to come, where the benefit is going to come, but it's certainly not here where I am currently. So it's got to be somewhere else. You know, whether I have a clear trajectory or not, I'm going to continue to move. And another piece of that, sometimes it's hard to figure out how to do that. One of the most basic things that I can like kind of oversimplify is if your brain is stuck, move your body. And if your body is stuck, move your brain. And the girlies with chronic physical illnesses, they'll get me on this. Sometimes your body physically can't. You just can't move. You can't do it. You can't manage the pain. There are things that you used to be able to do that you can't. And so now you need to retreat and cultivate a safe space in your brain. And sometimes that's a conversation with somebody that fills you up. Sometimes that's retreating into Azeroth for whatever your closer comfort is. Sometimes it's listening to other people. Sometimes it's reading or listening to a book or something like that. Sometimes it's finding like a good puzzle. You need like a good job or a good problem to solve. But either way, it's not remaining in that. And I would say that that is at the base of all of the advice that I give is, keep moving, recognize it's temporary. We've talked about the farmer and his son story often. And yeah, I say to almost everybody that therapy has no new tricks. We're very simple at our core. So I do the little silo checks, right? I do my physical silo check. Okay, what's going on in the physical health that may impact us? What's going on in the emotional health? What's going on in the occupational health? What's going on in the spiritual health? What's going on? Additionally, on the side of physical health is hormonal health. Hormones and nutrition have a mass amount of impact. So if you've checked all of your buckets and you recognize that you've done everything within your power to possibly change your circumstance, okay, well, now we're going to look at what I can control within my reach and focus on that and move my mind if my body's stuck and move my body if my brain is stuck. Somebody had mentioned earlier that it's very challenging to self-advocate when you have depression, and depression is one of those things where your mind is stuck. I would say depression and OCD are very overwhelming, and so sometimes you truly just need to lead first with your body because your brain will not allow you to move on. So yeah, I would say those basic foundational pieces are the best that I can offer in like a short amount of time.
That's amazing advice. Never heard that advice actually being given at all. Like, Pa, did you hear that, Alina? Like, I've never heard anybody say that.
Yeah, some people will call it opposite action. So it's like whatever is very oppressive to you, um, do the opposite of whatever that is.
Story
And
of my
Abso
life, by
is,
the way, doing opposites all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Abso's throwing a tantrum in chat. I shouldn't move on. These things are wrong and I need to fix them all.
Well,
Dude, I
what
love
Miss
it.
Mia said also resonates. So she said, I
Yeah.
truly believe everyone is here for a reason, whether we understand the reason or not. It's something I have to
Yeah.
remind myself of often. And while I still struggle with it, sometimes I try. You are enough. This basically applies to all of us.
Yeah.
Elena, I want to try to I want to initiate you to want to try that spark of joy. You are in chat and what you post and all of the time very open and like open-hearted, and you're a genuinely nice person. Everybody can see that.
Yeah.
What kind of small things would it require in like right now and in the future to bring you like more moments of light? What would you wish for yourself to ease the mental and the physical load?
That's actually something I'm trying to navigate now because I was someone that was moving a lot and I loved it and I was good at it and it was my go-to way to get out of my head, and now I can't do that anymore. Um, I I do have OCD, so that's not good. That's not helping. One of the small things that I do sometimes is my nails. I used to be a nail biter for 14 years, and when I quit, I was very proud of my nails because my nails are very strong and very, I love my nails even after 40 years of not biting my nails. That is something I am very proud of still, and I love doing my nails. So, yeah, that's something that makes me feel better, and so I do try to find small things that I can do that,
Okay, well, let
wake me
us
up.
know if we can anyhow help you. I said, Pa and me are always there to run dungeons or whatever you like to do, and just use a single button. Where's Wallen when we need him? Like,
Yeah.
we'll be like,
Yeah.
Wallen, give us
Seriously.
a single button rotation here. We just need a
Mhm.
single button rotation. That's it.
Mhm.
But as I said, we're here for you. And in terms of
Thank
nails,
you.
be happy because the worst thing, like, I went to many rounds of chemo and radiation, and I can tell you honestly, I don't mind the nausea. I don't mind the puking and the diarrhea. Like, beware, Chad. This is gonna get gruesome now. But what I do mind and what hurt so bad was when all of my nails fell off. That kind of pain, you do not like. There is a torture that like there is a torture
Yes.
that does that, and it's really as gruesome as it sounds when they fall off, like one by one on their own, on your toes and on your hands. You literally cannot function because
Yeah.
anything you touch is like electricity going, like being zapped with electricity from here to your toes. And I had that happen to me so many times. So it's like it's hell. So be happy about your nails. I'm happy for your nails, girl. I'll be
Yeah.
happy for all of the nails because I can't have them. Like literally so happy for
Oh,
you.
thank you.
So sorry, Chad, for the gruesomeness here.
I actually know that feeling because another thing that is happening to me is menopause. I do have that age, and as you can see, I still have thick hair, but I actually lost more than half of it. And I didn't cry for any of the other stuff that happened, but I cried for my hair.
I can imagine that. Women tend to kind of feel a lot with their hair, especially what I've seen on the oncology wards. Personally, for me, I also now lost a bit of hair, and I had to cut it really short because I lost it so many times over the years. And what many people don't know, by the way, is that not all chemos make you lose hair. There is some that make you lose hair entirely. There is some that make you lose only a bit, or some that make you not lose almost at all. It's about what kind of substance you get in your chemo. It does like make your scalp itchy, and you do have some changes in there, but it is, it's always different. So just know that there is this kind of notion that I hate personally, especially about cancer, but it's about pretty much everything, like you said, also with long COVID. And so, but many healthy people see somebody who still has hair and who is not like, I don't know, paperweight, and they're like, oh, how can you be sick? You look fine. You know what I mean? There's this hidden, it makes sometimes being sick invisible, even though it's not invisible. Even though you have it, you have the pain, you have the, the physical and the mental pain, you have it on paper, you have it black and white, you're there sitting on the oncology ward. I have a port now, like here in my chest. So I have a port, I have it all. And yet I can go down the street and somebody will see me on a cane and they will be like, oh, what happened? Did you fall? And I'm like, no, I have cancer. And they're like, but you don't look sick. Well, why do I have to, bend to society's norm and look sick to be sick? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is something where it's not only bad in a sort of for doctors, where you go to the doctor and he doesn't believe you. It's actually also present like in real life with real people when they make your sickness invisible because they choose to go by this, Hollywood portrayed sick person that is like, has a cap, has no hair, is paper thin, and is dying. That's what like a cancer patient looks like. But then if you go on Instagram and you find people that literally had cancer diagnosis for 20 years. I forgot the name of that woman, but you remember who I'm talking about, that woman that had also like strokes and brain aneurysms and pretty much
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Was it the one you sent me?
Yeah, the one
think
I
you
sent
sent me
you.
that as well.
Like, she is insane. She had so many like things going on, and yet she has lush blonde hair. You would never say that she is, who she is and whatever. So it's like this notion of being seen and to encourage people to realize that not all people portray themselves or want to be seen as sick. We want to be seen as who we are without our sickness. Be that ADHD, be that, a mental disorder, OCD, be it, cancer or any other disorder, that there is out there. We want to be seen as humans first, right? Yes, our sicknesses are part of us, but they are not who we are. So that's why
I
in
read
WoW, we are hidden behind our characters. I am Ma.
Mhm.
Ma is a fighter. She's cool Tyrion. She's a druid. She's a bear. She'll protect you till the end of the earth, and she's nowhere to be seen. Like a sick person. So this is why I love WoW. This is why in the game I am Ma. I am through
Mhm.
living the game. I am living who she is and who I want to be. If that makes sense, basically.
Mhm.
So sorry, I went on a tangent there. I'm supposed to ask the
Sure.
questions.
As you
God damn
should.
it.
You want me to ask a
Pet talk.
question? I've got a question to ask.
Okay, sure.
Since you've basically touched on it. After being sick for so long, Elena, how do you struggle with identification? Do you like? Do you believe that, like Ma just said, obviously you're not your sickness, and that's very important. But after being sick for so long, do you struggle sometimes? It must be difficult,
Yeah,
you know.
it goes up and down. When I feel better physically, I feel better in my head, and then I can see that there is still fun to be had and still good stuff happening. And when I'm not feeling well, then I'm not feeling well in my head, and then the world is dark and gruesome, but it moves up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, but identity is a big thing for us humans.
When I lost my job like uh, 22 years ago this year, and I haven't worked since. I haven't been able to. That was in the beginning, that was very difficult because I loved working. I loved working with people. I loved having colleagues. I loved, being able to use my knowledge, my skills. And I've really had to find ways to, you know, find myself again, do stuff. That was a big part of my identity, and I don't have that anymore. And, financial struggle followed because I wasn't able to work anymore.
Of course.
Now, 22 years later, I can honestly say that I have found my way around that. You know, when I met my husband 8 years ago, he was very worried that if I would sit in his apartment, which is right here, that I would get bored and that I wouldn't know what to do. And I was like, I don't even know what that word means. There is so much I can do. I'm a creative person. I have so many creative hobbies. You have to find a way, because if you don't, I'm not sure you would actually make it. You have to find a new existence.
Yeah, there's also, many people who, die of suicide or they harm themselves because they can't deal with the outside world and its heaviness. And I
Yeah,
think since the whole story about what's his name, Pa, help.
Evelyn,
Yes, thank you. You were quicker this time.
Good job.
Since
quick on
the
the
whole
draw.
Evelyn story came out, I think that everybody kind of realized a bit more how important actually, seeing the person behind the player is. So it's very much, I think, still a touch and go thing in WoW, but we're getting there. I think in about like in expansion 20, we'll be there.
Well, just I find it. I mean, it takes effort to want to, figure out who is behind the character. It's not just this. This is probably why it is difficult for some people. Uh, because it does require effort. You have to. You can't just be approached by somebody. It's like, oh yeah, okay, here we go. We're super friends now. It's like you have to ask questions and genuinely care. And this is
yeah,
when you really connect with somebody. I think online. When there's that feeling that wow, this person actually does care. About me and who I am and what I do and what I'm like. So
Martin, that
found that
brings
in
me
my
to your
husband.
question after your diagnosis, which was quite recently. What helped you start kind of reframing your life in a more positive and or understanding way?
I've always struggled with identity because it's like I grew up in a religious, not a sect, but in a religious kind of environment where things were expected of me. I needed to act a certain way. I needed to be a certain somebody. And me personally, now in retrospect, I found out that that's not for me, and it never was for me. And the things that I did and the effort that I've put in, I only did it for my father. So after the diagnosis, I can now look at these things and go, okay, this is where you've gone wrong. It doesn't mean that I've lost all these years because, there's still experience that's valuable. It just means that, okay, I'm hardened now. I can go, I'm not going to allow anybody to shape me into somebody that I'm not. And I think that's one of the I learned how to stand up for myself because I finally knew who I was in a way. If you don't have this image in front of you that you want to be, and you don't have the freedom to actually go towards that, that's very damaging, I think, for a young mind.
On that topic, let's stay basically on the topic of advice to others. Sperry, what advice would you give someone who is struggling mentally, but feels alone or is unsure where to turn?
That is a very good question, and I think it really comes down to the level of social anxiety that person has, because I think it's a very brave thing to step out and recognize that you're being vulnerable with people. So I don't know if anybody else has heard like this cycle of love before, but essentially like every time you open yourself up to love, which is not just a romantic love, it's, I think, like a friend, a platonic love too. I think that you and I talked about it on our Sperry session. Like, you should be open with love, like
Yes.
be abundant with it. Like all of the Sperry squad knows that I love them, and I will continue to say it as much as I can, because there are so many people in this world who have not heard enough that they're loved and they're important. But I think when you extend yourself to offer or receive love, you have to become vulnerable. There is no way to exchange love without vulnerability. And every time that you become vulnerable, you allow yourself to become vulnerable, you will be hurt and disappointed. No matter what, I will disappoint you. Mom will disappoint you at some point. At my husband, I know I will disappoint him. He will disappoint me. That's part of being human. We're not perfect. And we need to recognize that when we hold each other on the pedestal of being responsible of never disappointing us, it can be very damaging to relationships. So every time you become vulnerable, you will be hurt at some point. It may not be super severe, but there will be little things that we disappoint each other in, And every time you're hurt, you have to choose to forgive. And it doesn't necessarily mean to forgive and allow, right? Because I think that this is a hot topic, especially when we're living in a world where there are very severe and devastating hurts between people. I don't ever want people to think that I am saying let people continue to hurt you. Never, not ever. But forgiveness is so much more about yourself than it is about the person that you're extending forgiveness to. It's liberating for you and for your heart. And it's saying, I no longer have to carry this because there is greater for me than is behind me or that hurt me. You know what I mean? And yes, Miss Mia, 100,000,000% we need to remember to forgive ourselves. I will stand by the fact that I'm my own biggest hater, and it is so hard to combat that inner voice
And
sometimes.
your own biggest
Um,
critic. That's the like
oh
even
my
bigger
God.
problem than hater when you criticize yourself for things.
Yeah. Yeah, my community knows that my brain's name is George. So we around here we name our brain because sometimes our brain is not saying things that align with who we want to be, right? So when my brain is beating me up, that's George. And George is the biggest hater out there. So I'm like, literally, who needs enemies
Oh
with a
my
brain
God,
like
wait.
George?
Oh, okay, I want to know, Elena, Pa, what would be your brain's name? I want
Yeah,
to, is that like a thing that suddenly just pops inside your mind, like a name that suddenly is there? Oh my God, I
it's
literally
gotta
had,
be
as you
somebody that,
said his name, I
yeah.
had my name immediately,
Oh,
which
what
is
is it?
so weird.
Tell me. I must know.
Well, I've had the same as you, Sperry, for a while. My brain's name is Vincent. He's
Ah,
my he's my shadow self because
yeah.
he constantly kicks me when I'm down and pisses on me and all this horrible shit.
Yeah.
Mine, I never thought of this, but immediately as you said it, I had the name like Priscilla. I don't know why Priscilla. That's not even a
Ooh,
name, but it kind of just gave
I
me
see the
that
one
kind
though.
of, you know,
Queen of the Desert.
yeah, like a really rough mix between Cruella de
Yeah.
Vil and like some kind of Bridgerton baddie or something.
Yes.
That's like the vibe that I got from my brain immediately.
Yes.
Somebody explain me that. Elena, do you have a name? Come on, what popped in your
Yeah, what popped in my head was Clara with a K,
Ooh.
because we used to have a commercial in the Netherlands for a hot chocolate powder stuff that you had to pour water on, and the commercial would say, Klaar is Clara, which means Clara is ready. And
mm.
I don't know,
So
that
it would be
that just
Clara, which is funny
popped in
because
my head.
in German that would be like clear, like
Mm.
okay even Pa, right? Klar is like literally
Ja,
uh
ich hab alles klar.
yeah, it means like okay. So it's really funny. Sperry, this was genius. I love this.
Oh my gosh. I love it because it's so satisfying to tell George off. And then it's easier to reframe negative self-talk when you're telling somebody else. Because when you're trying to reframe negative self-talk and you're telling yourself that none of it's true, it's now arguing with yourself. And it's easy to get into the thought loop of like, oh, well, now I'm such an idiot because I told myself that I can't do this. Or I'm my biggest thing is like, wow, some mental health professional you are. You're telling everybody to be their best selves, and here you are, just can't find one thing to like about you, or like stuff like that. Like it helps the inner battles because I'm like, okay, well, okay, George, we don't have time for this today. So how about you go kick rocks?
Here,
So it's
Pa,
Yeah, see,
much
Pa, listen
honestly,
to this.
easier.
Pa, listen to
I
that.
I do the same thing because,
Yes.
because of the ADHD, there's lots of intrusive thoughts that have no space in
Yeah.
there, and all of a sudden it comes in, and I'm like, just shut up. What are you talking about? It's just like trying to push it away, and it's easier when you have another identity, let me say, put it that way,
Yes.
to just like, talk to about it, then just go, oh, it's okay, it's a fault, but this, the brain runs at 250 miles an hour constantly, and all sorts of things come in and go out, and it's like, I think it's a great way to deal with that.
Yeah, and in
Mhm.
in relationships where one partner has ADHD and the other one doesn't, or has his other own kind of, mental things, it's very hard to sometimes come to a common ground because we are so different in our not only thoughts, but these kind of fears and executions and all of it, like the washing machine thing, like
Mhm.
for him something that was like solving a problem, for me another problem made, like it's
Yeah.
like I would
See,
not touch the damn flap. Like
I've
literally.
I've been saying it for years, right? Me and you, I'm talking about Ma, of course. We're on the same train of thought. But she's at the front and I'm at the back, wondering how I got on the train. So
That
True.
pretty much
that sums
explains
it
it.
up. Yeah.
No, but it's like it's really sometimes Sperry, you might like, you know, have this, it's not really a problem, it's more of an issue, but sometimes, you know, when I say something and I'm quite honest and I'm very direct in my saying, sometimes more like a bit too much because I'm Balkan, so you know, I'm like I immediately get there.
Very
But
direct.
you know, and then when I say something, he gives this sigh. It sounds like the worst sigh ever given. Like, why are you bothering me with this? Even though the sigh was not meant maybe for me, but it was meant, you know, for him regulating himself. But to
Yeah.
me, it sounds like I've done the worst thing ever as a wife, and he feels like he's done the
Yeah.
worst thing ever as a husband, because why am I asking him that? And it's a very difficult, you know, combination, and it needs a lot of love, a lot
Yeah.
of, you know,
Patience.
patience, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
work, like really work
See,
to
I,
get to know each other, and to, you know,
Yeah.
we are like 5 years, how many, no, we're married 3 years, almost 4 years, and
Mm-hmm.
together like almost 6 years, and we are still getting to know each other, like,
Mm-hmm.
especially since he got his
Yeah.
diagnosis, which is a
well,
really big thing.
I'm saying I'm getting to know myself. So yes, we have to get to know each other again. Like often, I would say.
Very often.
Yeah. It's so
It's
funny
like
because now we're
being
getting
with an
into the
actor, you know what I mean?
yes, we're getting into like the couples dynamics, which is like my bread and butter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love
You
all of
just
let's
this.
like
let's
My
just
animal
have
brain
a
is
session
going
with you,
a
Sperry, please, once.
million miles a minute because yeah, it is hilarious because I know exactly what it is that you're talking about, and I know foaming at the mouth to ask questions. I'm just like, oh my gosh. But I think about so like on top of the ADHD thing, my husband and I have opposite presentations of ADHD. So he's hyperactive and I'm inattentive, and it is very interesting on the days that both of us have had long days, right? So, one of the things that I think is important, not only in couples, but in friendships too, is to clarify the version of the person that you're interacting with because we we experience the world through our filter. You know what I mean? So, the funniest story, if I could, it's very short. I know that we're yapping for a while, but the best example I can think of was one time I, this is why it's important to clarify the intention behind people's behavior and what they say. I was thinking of this when you said his sigh. Like, I have to recognize that that sigh doesn't mean what I think it means. It means what he means by it, you know, which is a very complex thing to have to unravel. But I was doing laundry one time and I had to leave the house. And also, bye, Miss Mia. Have a great nap and a great night at work. Thank you so much for
Bye,
being
love
here.
you.
Yes, and
That was Mia.
bye. So one time, you know, I was doing laundry. I had a sweater that I needed to dry flat. I couldn't hang it up. I couldn't dry it, whatever. And I had to leave the house. And I get a text from Mr. Sperry, and he's like, "Hey, is there a reason your sweater's on the freezer?" And I was like, "Oh, it just needs to lay flat." But you know, whatever. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna move it if that's okay." I said, "That's fine." I get home after, you know, being gone for a couple of hours, and I come upstairs and I see that my wet sweater was on my side of the bed. And I was like, this mother I was like, that's so crazy. Um,
Regulation.
I was just like, I was ready to start a fight. I was like, I am about to go get an entire hamper full of wet clothes and put them on his side of the bed. I was like, this is the craziest thing. This is so petty. Why would he do this? You know, and then I calmed myself down. I regulated and I was like, hang on, let me investigate for a second. And so I grabbed my sweater and I bring it downstairs and I looked at him and I was like, hey, were you mad at me earlier? And he was like, what? I was like, were you mad at me or were you frustrated with me earlier? when you put my wet sweater on my side of the bed, were you angry when you did that? And he was like, and he looked at the sweater and then he looked at me and the light bulb went off and he was like, oh no, babe, like I didn't even think about it. He's like, I literally in a follow-up conversation, the things that he said, you know, water goes up. You know, it's like I didn't think it was going to be an issue. And so he genuinely,
This is so
genuinely
cute, though.
meant nothing by it but to help me. He was like, let me just move this and I will solve my problem and I will solve her problem, and her clothes are closer to the like closer to where she needs to hang them up, like evaporated straight into the blanket. But yeah, and in that moment I was able to remember who he is and who I married, because he's not a petty man. He's not somebody who's going to be like mean or nasty or, you know, bite my ankles when I walk by, like if he's angry. I say that as in reference to like a small dog. He's not biting my ankles, just, you know, anyway. But
Redacted.
He redacted what he is, so
Yes.
it's fine.
But I was like, okay, this just needed a little bit of clarification, because yeah, it was something that could have been a massive argument if I had let it, but the fact that we just asked some questions and slowed down and remembered the type of person that he is, like, it can alleviate a lot of tension.
Yeah.
Yes. Communication and emotional regulation.
Yes.
Yeah, but the main thing I think,
Huge.
I'm sorry, we're just gonna stick for one more minute with this. The main thing that
Yeah.
people should never forget with ADHD is that it's not only a diagnosis, but it also links to your life. Basically, what I want to say is each one of us has different stories. So your life story, Sperry, will not be the same as Mart's or as Mr.
Yeah.
Sperry's, and hence it shapes you in different forms, right? Your ADHD might have presented itself in different ways.
Yeah.
Would your life have had been different, right?
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Pa lost his mom due to cancer when he was only 7, which left,
Yeah.
you know, quite a big emotional toll, and especially growing up in the kind of family that he did. And then, you know, after the marriage that he had, meeting me was kind of, you know, kind of a full circle moment because of my own struggles with cancer when we already met. And I told him up front, he can testify. Like, I literally was immediately, the first day, I was like, I have cancer and I get it on and off, and I don't know why. Nobody knows why. So please have this in mind. And it was, you know, it's always a roller coaster because you have to get to know each other over and over again.
Yeah.
Even, you know, another cancer diagnosis changes me emotionally, physically, and mentally as much as it changes him and, you know, his perception of me and all of it. Our son basically was a miracle baby because there was only a 3% chance that he will succeed. But I was like, oh, okay, 3%, then we're gonna do it because it's not gonna work. And then suddenly after 2 weeks, they were like, oh, you're pregnant. And I'm like, what?
Surprise.
So he was.
The doctor even said at first there's only 15% chance, and then he turned around and said, actually, I was wrong. It was only a 3% chance.
No. He didn't
Wow.
say he
Wasn't
was
it-
wrong.
wasn't
He said he didn't want me to feel so bad about it being only 3%.
Yeah, that's what
So
it
he
was.
added a 1, right? But it was actually 3%, even though I thought it's 13. And it was funny. He
Wow.
was a miracle baby. And funnily enough, this is how he also came into the world, because I was standing in the shower when he
Yeah.
just plopped out, and
He bungee jumped.
he bungee jumped out of me. Like, he
Bungee
had
jump.
enough. He had enough. But the funniest shit was that Pa was standing right next to me, like in the shower with the shower head, showering me. And he plopped out, bungee jumped out of me. They gave him me, you know, on my chest. I started cuddling him and started waddling back, waddle, towards the bed. I look back and Pa is still standing there with the shower like this. And I'm like, okay, boy, we're done here. You can come over. It's fine.
Yep.
Like it's madness, you know.
I
And
don't remember that.
Yeah.
it was 5 a.m. So yeah,
All I remember is being ready, trying to catch him. Because he was about to fall out, onto the shower floor, and then the nurse came and I was like, okay, good.
yeah. Well, there is, as said, there is many funny. At least he didn't, handle his flap or something and pulled on stuff that he wasn't supposed to pull. That's a good thing.
Oh my gosh.
No, he's going to be an exceptional human being. But all of us are exceptional in our own wonderful way. So it's going to be amazing to see what he's going to achieve. Whatever he wants to achieve, it's up to him.
Exactly. Let's just quickly stick to advice. Elena, for people who live with like chronic or invisible illnesses or feel, unheard by doctors or society and they watch this, what would you want them to know?
The thing that helped me tremendously is something that my mother always told me. She always said, and I am not a religious person, but my mother was, and she always told me that God only gives you what you can handle.
Oh God, I got that.
And
I had that said to me many times, which is funny.
she also said, how strong are you that you can handle the things that you handle? So I know within the deepest parts of myself that I am a strong person and that I can handle anything that life hands me. And there is only one thing that I cannot survive, and that is death. And that's the
Amen.
same for every one of us.
Yeah, I keep telling people that, everybody is like, at this very moment, since we're fighting this fight, everybody's like, Ma, you will survive, keep at it, be strong. And I'm like, I realize that, and I really value and love what you're telling
Can
me,
I-
but you do realize that I could get hit by a car tomorrow. It doesn't need to be cancer. What we all need to realize is how, small we are in this grand like universe, and how fleeting a life is, and how we should really take every and each moment to just love each other and try to be here in the moment, albeit the moment is bad or not bad, but try to find that strength from that. So I love what you said, Elena, because it's resonating basically with everybody.
So tell me which one of my t-shirts is appropriate for this moment.
The Witcher one.
No,
Oh, God damn it.
what doesn't kill you
Gives you XP, right? That's the one. But
Oh,
Martin,
that's so good.
since you talked, what would you say to adults who suspect they might be neurodivergent but are afraid to pursue a diagnosis because you got it so late yourself?
Could you please repeat the question? My brain was, somewhere else for
Yeah.
a few seconds, and that was enough,
He was
for me not to
he
get
was
the
at the
question.
flap again. Anyway, the question
Your
is,
brain wasn't
what
raining.
would you say to adults who suspect they might be neurodivergent but are afraid to pursue a diagnosis because of their age or because you got it at an older age?
Well, I mean, this is something that can be like you can live with this, and then you can build yourself workarounds and bridges and all sorts of things to be able to get to an older age and be okay with it. It just depends on the person and what they feel they need from themselves. It's a struggle with yourself essentially because there's something that it's like a tug of war inside your head. You tug in one direction and something else is tugging in the other. If you feel that, then go. Get yourself diagnosed. Speak to a professional. It helps immensely with peace of mind and just this feeling to like sit there and go, okay, I'm okay with who I am. That's important, I think. as a human being, we should all be okay with who we are, and we should take any action towards that goal, because it brings peace not just for us, to ourselves, but to everybody around us, and our loved ones, and the ones that we want to support and be there for.
Yeah, if I can add on to that, that is so true. Having a diagnosis is so important. Like I was saying to Ma when I first spoke to you, is I have wished the worst diagnosis on myself, because then I would at least have something. It is so bad not knowing, and that is something that a lot of medical professions, and not only doctors, but also physical therapists, don't understand the importance of having a diagnosis, of knowing
Yeah.
what is wrong with you.
Yeah, it unfortunately is still a very big problem in the world to, kind of feel like make doctors feel you and make like see you basically for what you say that they're. I mean, it's as simple as, for example, for me, when I had the surgery and I told them literally, I was like, I need longer for, any anesthesia to work, and I need more. Like, this is a common thing. I need more and I need longer. And they're like, yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, okay. So then they start with the normal amount and they go with the scalpel, and I'm like, ouch. Like, And they're like, oh my God, you can feel that? I'm like, am I talking to a wall? Why am I talking to a wall? Please listen to me when I tell you stuff. So it's
I think this is the biggest problem with doctors, when they turn into mechanics.
yeah.
No, it's like
That's true.
this kind of car is the same as the other kind of car that is that kind of car. So you can assume it's going to behave the same way. But humans are not like that. Not all Austrians are going to be the same under a scalpel, or all Serbians or whatever. So I think this is one of the biggest problems that we face these days. When doctors who should care and really really deeply care about you, and your well-being and your life, just turn into mechanics that want to make money.
I
That is very
actually
true.
literally had one doctor say, there is nothing mechanically wrong with you, it's psychological.
Oh, they always want to do that card, Sperry. What do you think of that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I actually, Mr. Sperry was saying I should share something similar happened with my mom, and like, yeah, it's enraging. I also have a deep like fear of the medical system, and I've helped a lot of clients work through medical trauma because they were mistreated, or they weren't their wishes weren't respected with their body, and I think it's a scary thing. And I think just because somebody has a license doesn't mean that they have ethical practice or empathy or a compassion. And so it's tough to continue to do things only when you feel safe. And sometimes it's very hard to find somebody that you feel safe with. So yeah, I absolutely sympathize with the struggle and the challenge of finding the right people to be on your team. My chiropractor, I absolutely love and adore her. She went in to get I think it was a partial. She did something to basically reduce her chances of breast cancer because she's extremely high risk,
Mm-hmm.
and she had not a great experience with a doctor, and they were insisting that she get this surgery or whatever, and she said, look, I'll get the surgery, I will do whatever I need to do, however my terms are I will have an all-female team, and I will interview every single one of the person. She's like, I don't care if it's the person who scrubs the floor after my surgery. I will only have women that I trust involved with the surgery. And she's actually, I started seeing her when I was pregnant, and she specializes in infants and pregnant moms. She is very protective of her space as well. But I'm like, someday I want to be as backboney as she is, where I'm able to have the self-advocacy reps in, for myself and for also friends like the people here that we're talking with.
No, you can ask Pa. I am quite feared in my hospital, like literally.
As you should be. As you should be. The doctors should be more afraid of you than you are of them.
Yes.
That's the dynamic that should exist.
And that is what they are, because I don't if I don't like my doctor, I'm like, okay, thank you, next. Like,
Yep.
nope, I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
stay with you. There was only one doctor, female one, that I had a problem with, and she had more a problem with me, because she was like, why are you still alive? She literally told me that sentence. She was like, why are you still alive? And I was like, well, sorry,
crazy.
bitch. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
chat, but like, you know, I was like, what the heck? But she turned out to be one of my biggest advocates. No, this is the
Yep.
clincher, because she was like, she actually told me in the end. She was like that to me in the beginning, because she was frustrated that not everybody is as self-advocating as me, because I was like, literally, doctor comes, he's like, you have 10 more months to live. I'm like, no, not this time. No. Just, I would push through. I was in a coma once for 2 months, in a coma for 2 months. I had over 20 surgeries now, over like 25 or 30, I don't know if we know even the number, like rounds of chemo, radiations. Like, my body is not my body anymore. I don't have half my teeth. I don't have 65% of my guts. Like, literally, I'm functioning on, I don't know, love and air. That's what I'm functioning on. And a big butt.
Yeah.
Like, it's sucking everything out.
That's what I'm functioning.
Pa! Anyway.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Anyway, point being, I am feared at the hospital, but this is why when I come in, literally everybody knows me. Everybody knows that oh my god, there we go. The chat has woken up again after Pa's comment. The point being, you need to self-advocate, because it makes you a person in their eyes. You stop being that number, and if you have, you know, a voice, and you're like, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is what's happening. What's the name? I always forget. What's the name, Sparry, of the thing they put in you when the blood should still drain out? Like, is it
An
like,
IV?
no, like after surgery,
No.
they still leave it inside your body. Like, if you have,
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's just like a
That's a
drain. Like,
drain.
no?
Yeah, it's like a drainage
Yeah,
thing.
a drain,
Yeah.
a catheter. Well, is it a catheter, drain, whatever?
I
But
was gonna say, I think it's just drain, maybe.
yeah, drainage tube.
of
There we
some
go.
sort,
So
yeah.
I had a drain once in me, still in my guts, after the 2 months of coma, and there was still blood coming out of it. And I literally told the doctor that morning, I was like, I'm going home today. You cannot keep me here. I am going. And they were like, you can't, because you still have the thing in you. And I said, I don't care. I'm signing the wager and I'm out. I'm out. I called my stepdad, who was alive at the time, and he was like, okay, are you leaving? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, did the doctors let you? Knowing me. And I was like, no, I'm going. So I came home to my kids with the thing still in my body, and I was like, hi kids.
Yeah.
So I'm crazy at that point, because my sheer like need and want to survive, it is what has been pulling me so far. And that same need is why I turned to the community now with my GoFundMe and with everything, where you, Sparry, were one of the first ones that was actually like, hey, I'm gonna make a GoFundMe for you if need be. And because it was just, I want to live, even though I say that, you know, this life is short and everything. All of us deserve to feel that emotion of, you know, wanting to have a normal life where, you know, our ADHD won't mess with our heads every day, or where we will be seen by doctors, or will, you know, like just a normal life. So it is, you know, kind of important to self-advocate to doctors, to yourself, to, you know, communities, to friends, to everybody. You need to be vocal about things, because if you're not, then, you know, it gnaws on you from the inside, basically. But to sum it all up, Two more things that I'm gonna ask you three, just one more question, and then you have the freedom to ask me one question, and then we're gonna sum it up. Is that okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
How? Oh, well, wait. Let's say the question, and you can decide who wants to answer this one. Do you think that gaming communities in general, so WoW and in general, provide that emotional support that people struggle to find in real life? And I am here basing it only on emotional support. Who wants to have that one?
I'll jump at that one because I'm very specific about how communities impact the people in them. And so I think that all communities can potentially provide the emotional support. I don't think all communities do. I think that you have to protect the culture of what the community is. And I think everybody contributes to what the culture looks like, and everybody is impacted by what the culture is. So, like, if you have a community that's based on mental wellness, and you say that it's based on mental wellness, and you get a lot of people that are seeking hope and mental wellness, but the culture is gossip and backbiting, then that is not a place of support. That's not something. And I am very, like, I am very firm about protecting the people, at least within my community, because that's really all I can control, right? And it's very small facet. I'm only one person out of almost 300 people in the Discord and however many people are on my socials. Like, ultimately, there's such little that I control other than demonstrating in action. And what I can say is if I see anybody that is going to be harmful to people, I've actually let other creators because they have certain plans and be like, hey, just identify. And like there are people who not an example of me, but just like just a heads up, like this in our community, this is why this person is no longer in there. Just be careful because there have been. And I would say, like, okay, everybody gets a fair shot in my community. Like, I don't care if you have knockdown drag out, if you are the notoriously somebody else community, you've got to come here and act correct. And if you can't act correct, then it's a really great.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's going a bit wild.
Can you hear me now?
It's still metallic though.
No, you sound like a robot, like metallic.
See, look at the devil.
There we go. Now
Trying
it's
to
good.
tell somebody something, and here we are. No, it's okay. But I was just saying that, like, yeah, basically everybody, no matter the reputation, has a chance in the Sperry Squad. And if they are not behaving appropriately, then it's a really good opportunity for growth because sometimes people don't have the chance to practice behavior management because they've been shooed from every other group and community. So yes, I try to let every single person that like maybe bleeding on people, to reference something that I said earlier, they can't stop bleeding on people if nobody tells them that they're bleeding on people. Like, so I don't
It
care
makes total sense.
yeah, I'm like, let me just you've got an option to stick around. This is the culture. These are the expectations. If you like it, great. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. Find another one. But all that to say, yes, if a community protects its culture and upholds the standards of being true emotional support and a safe space, then I absolutely believe that gaming communities can provide that. Not every person or community that says they're a safe space will be a safe space. You've just got to pay attention to the culture. I can say Ma's community is, I can say my community is, and I just met Alina, but I really like what I'm seeing so far, you know? So, like, I think, yeah, just be aware that not everybody is what they say that they are. Not from a jaded standpoint, but give everybody a chance. And when people tell you who they are, believe them. When a community shows you what it's about, believe them. And yeah, I hope that we'll continue to be a very safe and supportive community for many more people to come in the WoW community.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much. I actually am gonna rephrase the second question so it targets kind of Elena more. What is the one thing that you wish people understood better about living with chronic or invisible illnesses?
That is such a good question, but also such a difficult question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I think about it for a second?
Yeah,
and
sure.
come back to
You think about it, and I'll ask Pa. How much do you love me? No, that's for later.
You get to hear that without a stream, so.
Oh, I still like to hear it. Um,
Actually, I wanted to say something that.
yeah, I don't need to ask a question. Here, go ahead. Your floor.
No, I was just saying because Sperry said that about the bleeding on people, and people not realizing that they're bleeding on other people. So it's like this is one of the reasons why we are a social animal, because we cannot be. I mean, this is the question though. Can we be 100% aware of who we are and what we do without other people?
I don't think so at all.
Exactly.
There are multiple different theories, and my friend Cal is in chat as well, and he's also in the psych field. But there are theories that like we only formulate our understanding of self by what we anticipate others believe about us, which is layered inaccuracy, right? Because it's not truly what people are seeing, which is already inaccurate, but it's our perception of what they are.
It's doomed to fail.
It's doomed to fail. Absolutely. So yeah, we need each other. We need to continually be in pursuit of learning ourselves and each other.
So Mart, since we're on that topic, what role do you think community plays in healing, whether that healing is, mental, emotional, or simply feeling less alone?
Yeah, I mean, since we are a social animal, it is important not to feel alone. I mean, being alone, for me personally, because of the ADHD, more than likely, it's like sitting in an empty room is relaxing. There's nothing going on. It's understimulated. The brain is understimulated. It's wonderful. For a while. But being truly alone, it's not healthy, I think, for the sake. It has something to do with this empathetic connection that we share. I mean, we still don't understand our brains and its capabilities to 100%, and there might be functions up there that really connect us on a physical level, even, or maybe on another dimensional level. Who knows? What is out there? We can't perceive all of reality. So I think it's important to connect. That's the thing. That's when you don't feel alone, when you connect with somebody. And that can be achieved through online means, in my opinion.
Thank you. Elena, did you come up with an answer?
Yeah, I did actually. What I think is very important is for people with invisible illness, if they tell you that they have an invisible illness, believe them. Don't give unsolicited advice like, you need to lose weight, or you need to move more, or you need to drink more, or, you need to try yoga, or you need to tickle your toes, or whatever. Quite probably people with chronic illness and chronic invisible illness have tried everything. I know I have. Also, a lot of people are scared to talk about it. They don't know what to say because there's not, they can't change it. But you don't need to change it. You just need to be there.
It's also a very like country related thing. Here in Austria, for example, talking about cancer isn't really shunned. It's like something, you talk about. It's nothing, in the Balkans, though, God forbid you say that you are sick. No, 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 no. We don't mention sickness. It is a bad thing. We do not mention that we're frail or human or whatever. We are, superheroes, and we can do it all. We are never sick. That is not to be mentioned and will be utterly ignored. So it's a very different vibe concerning where you are from and where you're living, and where you traveling to.
Those are all mentalities from, the 40s, 50s, post-war. People are like, just get on with the work, ignore your pain, and that is your existence. That's basically our parents and, our grandparents' way of life and opinion on it. And we are changing the way we approach life and our identity completely in this new age, when we call it new age.
No, but thank you, Alina. That makes very much sense. The last floor, well, the last quest I have for you is to come up with a question each for me if you want to. It's not necessary, but if you would like to ask anything, you can do so now.
I have a question. Should you be able to do that treatment that we are working so hard for, that you can afford it? Did you think about, being able to be here for another 20, 30 years and what you would like to do?
Oh my God. See, this treatment that we're going for now is a life changer for me. And why I don't take, you can ask Pa, I do not take the word life changer like easily. I don't use that word many times. He was life changing to me, and my children were life changing to me, and my dogs were, but nothing else in life was really. But this thing that's going on is basically like, I'm gonna turn Super Saiyan here. I will have nanobots in me, so everybody can, expect that I'll be flying in 10 years'
Like,
time.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Right? We're gonna focus on our kids and make sure that they get. I mean, Alex essentially, since he's the youngest, it's going to be another 16 years at least. We will concentrate on that, and once that is done, we will travel the world. That's what we will
I
do.
beg to differ here, right?
I will buy a camper van, right? And I will put gaming setups in that camper van and generators, right? And it's going to be fucking awesome because it's going to be in 20 years' time, which is like the future, and we're just going to travel the world and play games and stream in our fucking camper van. It's going to be grand.
That is grand and a lovely idea, but I'll tell you honestly something. For the past 13 years since I've been struggling with cancer, I have been a patient, I have been a worker, I have been a mother, and I have been a wife, right? But I have not been me. I have been in so much fear at all times of, when is it gonna come back? Is it gonna come back? is a, you know, as a cancer patient, you go constantly to doctors every 3 months, every 6 months, you know, stuff is getting checked. And there's this underlying fear constantly that I have to live with. This thing now, if we make it, and you know, when we make it, is gonna change that, because they are giving me 20 years, 30 years. They're giving me time where I don't have to think about, hey, am I, you know, a patient or whatever. Yes, I'm still a mother, I'm still a wife, I'm still a WoW player, I'm still everything, but I want to be me again. I want to travel. I want to cook again, like properly, without my hands failing on me or hurting, you know, me or whatever. I want to be able to go on a walk without limping, without a cane, or, you know, to actually manage a walk. I want to, you know, I want to do stuff. I want to go dancing again. I used to dance. Pa knows this, you know, I used to dance. I want to go clubbing again. I want to do stuff. I want to live my life as not only, you know, wife and mother and WoW player and ma. I want to do stuff that, you know, I missed. So I just want to live, and this is what this treatment is going to give me, and this is why we're so adamant. And I am so beyond grateful to have met people like Sperry, like AJ, like Mia, like people like Khaleesi, people who genuinely love me. And there's many more of you. I'm sorry if I'm not, you know, I could, we would be here until tomorrow if I start with the list, but there's like so many people that stepped out of their own comfort zones to be in my comfort zone. And that is what friendship is. I haven't met all of you guys. I literally have not shaken your hands, but if I would ever see you, I will give you such a hug that you would probably just pop like a cherry, like literally, because this is what, you know, please, Shay, come back, don't go crying now. But it's like, it's amazing what this community, you know, has done, and what it can actually do. So this is what we're striving for, to you know, I actually, first time when I said, you, Sparry, were the one that I sent that to. Remember when I was like, I'm hesitant, I don't want to be a burden to anybody, but you know, this is too far out of my reach. And you said, like, you know, you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to let people who love you take care of you, no matter, you know, what happens. So yeah. Never flown in 53 years. Yes, Sophie, come here, or I'll come over there. It doesn't matter, we'll just meet. But it's a blessing, basically. Okay, that was too long of an answer for just one question.
Well, I'd just like to add that this whole thing with Mars Water Restaurant has really been a saving grace for her, and just to be able to, you know, meet all these wonderful people and engage with them and connect with them, and at the same time not be constantly reminded that, you know, you're sick, or that bad things might happen. And you know, this is a distraction, wonderful, the most wonderful kind of distraction that one can imagine. And it's just been great, you know, to see her so happy and smiling, and yeah, just wanted to add that.
It's funny though, I'll add also to that, that many people didn't even know about my cancer history up until when the GoFundMe started going live. And then suddenly I had lots of people writing me like, oh my God, when did this start? And I'm like, 13 years. And they're like, why didn't you ever say anything? And I said, because this is not the community I was running. I was not my sickness. I was Ma. I was cooking for you and having fun with you and being there for you. I am not my sickness. And I, you know, I declined to be, you know, kind of being it. Basically, that's how it is.
But Ma, if I may say so, what Mart says, that the Mars restaurant community has been your saving grace. I think it's been a saving grace for many people.
Oh, thank you. Now you're gonna make me cry. Okay, no.
I know it was for me.
Oh, well, as I said, I'm so grateful that we met. Sparry, you're the last one with the question, and then we're finishing this. This is going on for almost 3 hours, my people. This is insanity.
We can yap. Yeah, I know. We can yap. My question is my husband's question, because he said that it doesn't count because it's him. So I'll use mine for his. He says, what is the thing you love most about Pa?
Oh, well, he had to go that way, did he?
I had to know.
What do I love the most? I think how...
It's my lush locks.
Yes, it's his body. He's very Kultiran. like
He's very
literally.
cool too.
Yeah, I'm too Quilterian. Okay, I need to be a bit less Quilterian. That'd be great.
A bit more Draenei, a bit less Quilterian.
A
No,
bit more orc would be good, you know.
we both met in a very difficult time for both of us, and suddenly realized that we are two souls that are heading in the same direction and overlapping with each other. Of course, after some time, he literally moved in with me after 3 weeks, like when we were
Yeah.
together. I literally was like let's just come here, it's fine, it's fine, in all Ma fashion, like everybody knows me. I was like, here you go, this is my house,
Why
these are
wait
my
when you
children,
know?
my dogs, this is your house now. Anyway, so we're having lots of struggles in our marriage, as every married couple do. There is no perfection, right, in being married and loving somebody, because if you love them truly and you love them raw, then stuff is bound to happen. And it took Pa a very great amount of time to realize that this is how I work. This is, how honest and direct and, how I am. But I'm not only that in love, I'm that in everything I do. And I had to learn that, sometimes I need to step out of my comfort zone and, be what he needs instead of who I am. Right. What I love about him the most is his genuine niceness. He's like so nice, it's disgusting me at times. It's like, how can you see the good in people that much, right?
Yeah.
And I could listen to him yap for hours on end. Like, when we met, we were yapping for hours on end, because we share the same thoughts about the universe and about everything. But there is people out there who will, do something to somebody, and something would happen, and they would still, he would still see the good side of those people. And I'm like, at this moment, I'm like, no, I don't see the good side in those people, but he would. And I envy him on that. I'm like, oh my God, how amazing is that human being, and how untainted by the world is he, so that he sees that. And this is what I cherish about him, because while I am, if you tell my kids something bad in front of me, I will charge at you, meaning to kill you, and Pa will be the one saying, oh, no, stop. But they didn't mean it, but they just, they're this, they're that, but they didn't mean it. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill them, bro, what are you talking about? Like, literally. So he's my anchor when I need it, right? But again, like, sometimes he would drive me mad. He would drive me mad to the point where I would go insane. Like, I have contemplated divorce on more than one occasion, right? But then, you have to work, like with anything, like with children, with dogs, with life, with work, with humans, especially with your partner. You have to work, and you have to, Pa and me, we're a tanking couple. We tank off each other in real life, and we do it in game. So this is what I love about him, that he's so yuckily nice.
I'm not as innocent as she's, making me out to be. Just, I have to say that.
Yeah.
And even that
I'm
he
sure.
said in a nice voice. Come
You
on.
just made me look like a baby with diapers now. I was like, untainted by the world. I lived for 12 years in Scotland. Seriously?
Yeah, but this is what made you as such, because you learned that world is not really as, nice
No,
as everybody portrays it to be.
I've always seen myself as a somewhat stubborn person, but if you
Really?
take stubborn and you turn the coin around to the other side, it's called determination. So I am completely and utterly determined not to let the negativity of this planet ruin me. That is my determination here. So yeah, I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna immediately judge you when you're being an arsehole. I'm gonna try and look behind, use my empathy, to find out who you really are. And when I figure that out, that's, basically.
Well, oh my God, it's almost been 3 hours. Well, actually 2 hours since we were working on getting the stream like
Yeah, we had
rolling.
troubleshooting buffer, so don't. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. And we could do this for a way more longer than anticipated. Thank you all so much for sharing your stories tonight, and for Sperry for listening and for giving us your input. It was really amazing. I think that conversations like these remind us that behind, every character in
Mhm.
Azeroth, there is a real person that, has real battles or real, a real life behind it. And sometimes simply having a place where we can sit together and talk openly and freely and feel understood by, each other and the community and the chat and everybody is already some form of healing. So please always remember that all of our doors are always open, be it Sperry's community, my community, whatever. Like Pa is gonna make a IT WoW community or something, and for Elena we're gonna make a chronic illness community. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Enough talk. To the Argentina.
Yes.
Argentina.
Again, thank you so much. I'm gonna post one more thing again, which is the GoFundMe, which is, as said, really helpful. If you guys could share, we are unfortunately a bit lacking in the funds, and my surgery is bound to happen on the 23rd of March. We are like really in a tight pickle now. And in 20 days is my birthday. We will have a birthday stream, and actually Pa has birthday one day before me, so it's gonna be like a dual birthday stream basically. So I hope that you will attend. And again, I hope you liked the stream. Chat, I hope you enjoyed it, had some laughs, had some tears. That's the point of it. We will have 3 more of these episodes coming in the future, and then we're calling it quits for now. If I see that people really want them back, we're gonna come with some more, and if I'm feeling well. But thank you again, Sparry. I love you so much. Girl,
Love
you are the most
you.
amazing one. Elena, I see you in game, and I'll see you in the chat. And Pa, I'll see you in 10 seconds.
Raise your hand.
For having me, Ma.
Hello, I'm here in the back. Hi, bye. Thank you guys so much. I love you lots. See you
Thanks,
soon in the
everyone.
next stream.
Love you too.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.